Hello, Speed Gaming. I'm Mass Hysteria, and today we're going to be watching a match in the Dash Spring Invitational 2024 with Kipp and Nikplayer21. So the gang should be getting going here in just a few minutes. This is a, I guess, quarterfinal match. This is our second round of matches for this invitational. And we're running a group of settings that's going to be Chozo Logic. These guys are going to play Chozo Logic with area transitions. They're going to play a best 2 out of 3 to win this one. And yeah, it should be a really good race. With me, I've got Apathy Duck. Duck, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Hey man, can't complain. Excited for a good race here. So yep, we're off. Heading left. Because it's Chozo Logic, we know that our first item will always be Morph Ball at the pedestal. But from there, we'll have a chance to see what our other Chozo item is down at the Alpha Missiles location. And that'll really let us know whether or not we're going to be able to go check that Retro PV's portal or not. So. So we've had some good matches in the tournament thus far. Like I said, this is the second round. This morning, I think I can't remember who was Audra racing this morning, Doug.
Idle,
that's right. It was Audra Idle, and so I think Audra took that one. And so yeah. So then after this, we've got a couple more matches with Zeb316 racing. Oh gosh, I lost my notes.
Zeb is racing Nitro. Yeah, Nitro.
Okay, great.
Nitro, who I commentated yesterday. Nitro beat. I forget. It was also another good. Sunwoo. That's who it was.
That's right.
Beat Sunwoo Farmer. Yeah, the second one on that, I've never seen. I was joking that Sunwoo ran the perfect duck route, which every single decision they made completely reasonable and made perfect sense at the time. But the seed was exactly wrong. It was and Nitro just it was basically one went left, one went right, which is in the beginning is perfectly it's just you kind of pick which one, right? And everything flowed off of that, and it just like left was God route and right was not. Like it was pretty. And I mean, Sunwoo did a really good job. Only finished a couple minutes behind Nitro. But yeah, just one of those things. Sometimes it do be like that. So
this is interesting what just happened here. So we've got Nick decided to go ahead and check the retro PVs, and Kipp went on up, and then finding red elevator up at the top. So that's a good one to find. Gonna go ahead and follow it. Now, probably not gonna be too punishing for Kipp because there's so many red Brinstar locations, but.
Yeah, not having the super is going to be a little bit problematic here. I like following this route if you have this power bomb. I do like following mean route here because generally what will happen is, unless you get a really bad layout, at some point you're going to get spit back out onto that top part of criteria, right? And you can check the 2 left doors, and then you can check the 2 right doors, and you can like do gauntlet and bomb trees are pretty cleanly. So when meme route leads somewhere, it's really nice. Although Nikplayer is learning that not having that super can be rough.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, although they could have gone on down. I mean, they still could have had access, right?
Yeah, still could have gone down. Yeah, generally that red Brinstar is a really great thing. Yeah, unfortunately, sort of doubling back, this is just going to end up being, Nick did get some info here, but
yeah,
it's just slow compared to, Kipp's going to find that eventually. You know, I think probably the well. So Nikplayer's just in Kipp's shoes now is the problem. Like if Kipp had come out, if Nick had stayed in that and Kipp kind of like came out in the middle, which is always the worst place in Red Brinstar, because again you got this up-down thing.
Yeah.
It could have been pretty big, but yeah, Nick is just going to be sort of behind, and those checks really aren't going to give a lot of value.
So now one of the earlier items that we did find though was a charge upgrade, and so for these specific settings, when we were setting this up for the Dash Spring Invitational, we decided we wanted to run with a different charge beam mode that we have on the Dash site that we call Starter Plus, where you start with the starter charge beam, which just does the same damage with your shots as an uncharged shot, and so that really just allows you to never really be soft locked necessarily. But then in the Plus mode, you actually have 2 charge upgrades. One takes you to twice normal damage, and then the third one takes you to a normal charge beam, which is 3 times your vanilla shot. So they already found the first charge upgrade, and so there's one more out there, and we'll see if they find that along the way.
Kipp is getting this check right here. Really want to nail this the first try, otherwise it's a very big pain to come back up.
Yeah.
So does it perfectly. Wouldn't expect anything less from Kipp.
Yeah, and so now, of course, because Kipp's in Red Brinstar, now that bit of knowledge that Nick got really isn't going to help very much.
So does this... I was never a Dash player, and it's not that I don't think like the Dash changes are good. I just like am bad at keeping all this additional weird changes in my head, so I never really played with it. Does this still have like the spacer changes and stuff where it like destroys blocks and...
No, that was so. Yeah, the original Dash did have a lot of changes like that, and so around within the last year or so, though, we've kind of opened it up to where you can decide if you want to use those or not. And so for these settings, we just said let's just do normal Chozo with area, and really the only thing is the charge beam difference.
Yeah. I do like the charge beam. Well, yeah, I don't know. I haven't played with it. It makes sense. Some of the charge hunt was always sort of interesting in Chozo, though. So
yeah. Well, in this case, we really think it's kind of interesting because if you find that full charge, it just your ammo hunt just kind of disappears. And so with this one, depending on the skill of the player, you may decide, hey, I need to go find more ammo, even though I've got some amount of a charge shot. So
yeah, and it at least makes because there's times where you find ice and wave and plasma and you're like, this is great, except it's basically useless. So at least it does give you some, because even I think all 3 of those you still have like without charge, don't you still have basically you have a full beam with spacer, right? Like 400?
I think that's right. Yeah.
Or is that with 1 charge?
Yeah. No, I think that sounds right.
Maybe that's a little overpowered for not finding any charge, but yeah, it's still pretty good. And Kipp finds, Kipp finds this pretty naturally. So yeah, it would have, if like I said, if Nick kind of had stuck with this, right, he would have gotten spit back out into that upper criteria, and then could have gotten straight across, get Gauntlet, get the other 2 doors. So I do like the mean route play early on. It's kind of a meme that's called meme. I think it was called meme route with no area, right? Because you're kind of doing this reverse Brinstar thing, which is kind of awkward. But an area, like, I can go to like the best place, right? So it's much less of a meme. And you should be. I'm pretty sure you can get through there 100% safely with good movement and using the iframes from the power bomb to get past those side hoppers. And as well as getting back if it goes somewhere bad. Again, you just kind of lay a power bomb and get through.
And so Kipp finding various suit.
Yeah, that's again. I'm saying how much I like this meme route. The meme route play really just did not. I would have really liked to see Nick stick with it. The kind of bailing on it. I think especially when you're playing someone like Kipp, who like. I always say, like, playing like Kipp, it's like you have a shark coming behind you constantly, and you just like, if you make any mistake, you just know, like, it's he's just constantly coming forward, and so you really just have to commit to all your plays and everything. So even if it does feel like not the best, you just got to stick with it and hope it leads to something.
Yeah, I mean, it's really if you're in to win, you just have to commit, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the thing with rando is a lot of times, like there's like a saying that it's like once you've skipped something, you've skipped it. Like there's no like don't go back to because like by the time you go back for it and everything, like it's like the opposite of win more. It's just lose more at that point, right? Like you kind of have to play. You have to play for like the low percentage play at that point once you start like once certain plays not work out for you. Which is one of the reasons I find the SM randomizer really interesting is because like every item you find in SM pretty much speeds you up in some way, shape, or form. Versus like a Link to the Past, where it's like a lot of them are just like glorified keys, really. So a lot of times in SM, like even if you get, didn't get anything that's progression, you get like really good beams, you get really good movement, or you just get a bunch of ammo or a bunch of health that can really help you out later on. And there's high jump boots. Yeah, Kipp's kind of rolling in it right now.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm assuming Kipp's just gonna keep on going through all of Upper Norfair. Still with 3 more portals, 2 more Chozo locations. It feels strong to me.
Yeah, I mean, this map is sort of playing out very straightforward so far. Haven't really only found the one West Meridia portal. West Meridia is generally what you don't want to see when you don't have gravity, because you either can't do anything with it yet, or it just kind of is a pain to get through. I think you guys added another a save. The original West Meridia save was useless because you couldn't get to it unless you already had gravity.
Yeah,
it was pointless. I think you guys moved that.
Yeah, so one of our devs, Cassidy, put in these cool little half save stations that you can kind of fit conveniently in places, and so yeah, we added one right in the door next to Main Street, and so that makes it a lot more viable to, like you said, you couldn't get to that other one. So
yeah, I was like, what? Who put it here? Like, what is it? I am surprised you didn't put the Red Tower. I thought the perfect place for Red Tower was literally at the very top of Red Tower. You know that little spot on the left?
Yeah, and we discussed that one.
That's the perfect place for it. It was almost like handmade, but you said you put it in the part where you're already soft locked. It doesn't make sense.
In Red Tower?
Yeah, that was the whole problem with Red Tower is if you come through there without power bombs, right? At least in the Vario randomizer, Vario could force you to go in there to find your power bomb, but if it wasn't there, then you're soft locked.
Well, so we have the one in there. It's just right next to X-Ray.
Oh, I thought it was. Oh, sorry. I didn't. I wasn't paying attention. I thought it was in by the CAC farm.
No, yeah, no. It's over down by X-Ray. So yeah, you can get the save. We put it closer to X-Ray, thinking about people wanting to attempt early X-Ray attempts and stuff. So
yeah, see, but that's also why I like it higher, because it punishes you for I think you should be punished a little bit for safety saving, right? So I like it high.
Yeah. Well, we're constantly looking at the competitive nature of it. So if it seems overpowered, we might move it up there.
Yeah. Well, that's the official duck. By the way, Kipp getting space jump. Getting richer.
Yeah.
We've moved into the. I always make the joke that watch any random baseball game in the middle of the season, the commentators will do anything besides talk about baseball. We're in that portion of the match right now, which is Kipp is. Everything's coming up, Kipp. There's only so many ways to say that Kipp is just cruising right now. Yeah, Audra pointing out that Nick's improved a ton. We played Nick. I was on Audra's team in Rando League last year. We played Nikplayer in one of the matches, and they were surprisingly strong back then. And watching Nick now, like execution and everything is really good. Unfortunately, so is Kipp's again. So. But, you know, this is a best of 3, and, like, there's, you know, there's still tons of match, you know, the special thing with area randomizer, sometimes you'll see, like, you know, Lower Norfair leads into Tourney, and, like, if Kipp does that first, but, you know, Nick comes there with the 4 bosses done already, like, that's just such a huge time commitment that, you know, something like that can you know, turn the match up on its head. So Nick's just got to stay within punching distance here. Unfortunately, you know, in this area without Varia, you know, the hell run's certainly doable by, you know, players with high skill level. The problem is it's just slow, and, you know, going to see that high jump and going to reset it, unfortunately.
So yeah, so we found, let's see, we found Rex ship, but we don't have an East Meridia portal, a Lower Norfair portal, and we don't.
We did see East. We did see East Meridia. I didn't.
Did we?
Yeah, I'm almost positive we did.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. That was just what Kipp saw in single chamber.
Right. Yeah, I was making sure I did. And there's the other East Meridia. If you only get a glimpse of it, like, especially when you're commentating, sometimes you can get East Meridia and back a Rex ship confused. They are mirrored left-right, but they have, like, the similar tile set, so if you just catch it out of the corner of your eye. I was wondering if I had done that, but... I have never tracked before, and yesterday I did it for the first time just so we can get a match on, and... Oh my god, do I have a new level of respect for our trackers.
Yeah, tracking's very difficult. When we've been at the in-person event... I had a Jestro like hold my hands through a SMZ3 one time, and I was like, "Dude, I don't understand how you guys do this."
I always thought, like, because when I'm commentating, I miss stuff, which is like, well, I'm trying to commentate, I'm looking at 2 screens where the trackers are just. I missed so much, even just tracking yesterday. Like, I think I always knew I didn't really have the brain for it, which is why I never really signed up for it. But yeah. Also, to be fair, I did do tracking, my first tracking ever on hard mode with the map tracker and everything, and, you know, everyone has different names for them, and, but I looked, it was just like, Upper Norfair 1. I'm like, what is Upper Norfair 1?
Yeah.
Although I just, again, talking to our amazing trackers, in our commentary Discord here, Gesture linked an image that has all the numbers on it, which would have been great yesterday, but...
So we got Dang doing tracking for us today, so appreciate that.
Nick, with getting that Varia, now coming back for those high jump boots. There's no way Nick is feeling very... Sometimes, like, doing this kind of stuff feels okay if you have, like, a very weird map and maybe you found it in a weird spot, but... This map's been pretty straightforward. Unlikely that in Nick's view that Kipp has made some of these same choices.
Yeah, and so, you know, I think Kipp and I talk a lot about. Well, there's gravity right there. So. What I was gonna say was that Kipp and I talk a lot.
How do you say everything's coming up Kipp in Mandarin? Maybe that's a way I could spice it up.
Yeah. No, I mean, really, in an instance like this, you want some variance from Nick because he's probably feeling like he's behind. But I mean, at this point, with the gravity, Kipp's beam's pretty weak still. But even
doesn't
then,
have a way to get to. Oh wait, actually, he's got a ton of power bombs. Actually, does have a way to get to Dragon. We could just Crystal Flash clip there. Doesn't have bombs, so it's a little bit trickier.
Yeah.
I fully expect Kipp's a little bit less of a memer of some of these tricks than some other people, but
yeah.
I'm pretty sure he can do it without. I think he's at least a little more conservative when making those choices.
Yeah, I don't think it's his go-to necessarily, but yeah, I mean he can do it for sure. So I mean, if he feels like it's just going to take too much time to look for anything else, he may just go for it.
When I'm in a situation like this and it comes up in these SM randomizers a lot, especially area, is I sort of treat myself in like a half go mode where like I'm still gonna be, anything that's very quick to check, I'm gonna be checking it. Especially like, what are the things that could speed? There's a lot of stuff that could speed us up right now. Literally speed, plasma, wave, ice, all the beams. Screw attack, because we haven't done lower Norfair. Screw attack, especially with our health, right? Screw attack would be great. There's so many items that do speed us up. Heck, even if you do a Chozo and all you get is a super or a power bomb, even those are both helpful, right? Because another power bomb would just give us more cracks at doing the CF clip. So
yeah. Yeah, the health is pretty low. Considering all they've checked, it is kind of surprising that that's their first E-Tank.
Yeah, well, technically, I mean, we do have the reserve at least, so... Grapple's about the only thing that doesn't really speed us up in this situation. Yeah, here's Kraid.
Yeah, worth noting for these settings that they are vanilla bosses, so it'll always be Kraid, which is a big relief. Guess it doesn't matter for Kipp at this point, but...
Yeah, I mean, like, with this health and this beam... Never mind, I was about to say, you wouldn't want to Ridley. He's got 30 supers. Like, even Rufford,
yeah.
like, you know... Nailing quick kill. And energy tank. Yeah, Kipp technically wasn't in. I mean, still needed to pick up some things because it didn't have the mother brain energy, but I assume we only have the one reserve, so now we do officially have that. But yeah, still looking for, I mean, ice or speed are the two things that would pretty much just greenlight going full on. Maybe still picking up a little ammo because our beam is pretty terrible. But pretty much any beam would... ice gives us the least power, but it also gives us much faster Metroids and... makes getting to Dragon free, so ice speeds us up, just as much as any other beam, even though it doesn't really give us a lot of extra damage.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd expect... there's really no reason at this point for Kipp not to go ahead and check all three of these locations over here.
I might skip Spo. That's a bit, like, at this point. Yeah. Especially with that, like, if I was Kipp, I think I skip Spo here. And I would just go straight to, because that one's, it's a couple doors, you gotta do this whole setup thing. I wouldn't be surprised if Kipp checks it. Like I said, Kipp, from what I've seen, tends to play pretty conservatively just because he really relies on his movement and everything. And he just knows that, like, there's so many items that will just... he's still got 20 minutes of game left, right? At least. There's just so much... Just like, finding, like, a screw attack or something was just going to speed you up a ton. Now, that's probably the worst worst thing there, but... I'm honestly surprised he ran into it. Spent even the 7 seconds on that. I guess without
a... it's a little more forgiving now with for total tanks. So.
Without screw attack, it might force you to do reverse amphitheater. Lower Norfair can be pretty... Okay, now that one doesn't make any sense. There's no way you're going to save 7 seconds from this missile, Kipp. Kipp's going to come in here and, or DM me later and give me like a 40-page explanation of why that missile actually does save 0.3 seconds over the long run.
Well, we know at this level, these guys are all pretty analytical, so they, not when I'm racing, but when these guys are racing, it's like they're pretty intentional about the numbers they're trying to hit. So
yeah, this is a good this one also is 2 doors. Oh man, that bomb is great if you're thinking about the Crystal Flash. The bomb flip is way easier, and another power bomb. Like, I guess the other thing, he knows where East Meridia is, and yeah, there's like no reason to go back over there right now, because he's cleared that all out, right? So, in fact, we've got to be seeing either... Actually, is it... No, we know one side wreck ship. I was thinking Lower Norfair had a lead into wreck ship. No, I think that's true. I think this... No, sorry. We still have a couple... We haven't seen Torian or we haven't seen Crocomire, so we have a couple dead ends. So it's probably... I think it's wreck ship leads into a dead end, and Lower Norfair leads into a dead end.
It seems like that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. So if you... So I was saying way earlier, right? One of the things that Nikplayer could get back into this game with is... If this Lower Norfair, if this leads into Tourney.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually, now that I think about it, if Kipp is paying attention, right, you should not check the backup, because it's either Croc and you don't care, right? Or it's Turian, right? But what you can do is just do wreck ship last, right? And that check is very cheap, right? Going to the other side of wreck ship. You can just check that real quick. If it's Croc, who cares?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Although if Kipp was really thinking about that, you shouldn't even be coming here right now. You should be doing that wreck ship first. Well, maybe not, because potentially we could still find like an ice or a speed. So, but yeah, I don't. There, doesn't have the ice or speed, so we still are relying on this kind of like parlor trick to get us through East Meridia. But our other points are maybe like going all the way over to screw attack is a bit slow.
So yeah, and I mean, I think the thing for Nick now is how long is it going to take to realize to go back to X-ray and get the gravity suit.
Oh, right, he doesn't have that, yeah. And this is also what I was saying, yeah, I wish Nick had that gravity suit, because then, like, Nick knows that he's a little bit behind. He couldn't do something like, well, what I need to do is I need to, like, maybe I should rush East Meridia with, without speed or ice. Maybe I can, like, pick something up good there.
Yeah.
Like, it could be that ice is the thing that gets you through logically, and then Dragon is hiding speed, right, which... Or even like screw attack, and it's going to make this Lower Norfair like really easy and speed you up a bunch. Unfortunately, Nick is... Yeah, this is kind of what I was saying like way earlier when Nick decided to not follow through on that Red Tower route, which the problem was, you're just gonna be in Kipp's shoes at this point, right? You're just gonna end up following him everywhere.
It does seem like pretty much the same route minus the gravity pickup. So
yeah, unfortunately, the way that things that Red Tower was, there was some pretty juicy stuff behind. Not having supers in Red Tower does block you from all the Chozos, and there was some really good stuff there. So I don't really think that route would have worked either, but I think it's better than, you don't know that a priori, right? So it's I think, given what we knew early, Nick probably should have stayed on that because, you know, unfortunately this is just also not working out great. But you know, sometimes it just do be like that, right? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, Kipp just absolutely crushing Ridley. I mean, that's the thing. When you're, you know, we were saying, you know, Nick has improved a ton, but you know, Kipp is one of the best. When you're racing a Kipp, you know, you always got to be like, if you're the underdog, right? You got to do something different than them. You can't just follow them and go toe to toe and win. You gotta, and unfortunately, this is a seed that just really is not conducive to divergence. It's a pretty straightforward seed.
Yeah, now of course we do have at least one more after this, and this one's technically not over, but we do have, you know, we are best of 3, so maybe we'll have a little more variance as far as the map layout in the next one.
Yeah, and again, like when you know, this one is, you know, again, not over. We still have this Turian problem. If, you know, if Kipp does go all the way to the back of Lower Norfair here, does find that Turian, like, that's going to take a lot of time.
Yep.
Now, granted, you know, Nick is following Kipp, might make the same choice, but if he can avoid that, you know, they could certainly, you know, even it up. Like, you kind of see where Nick is, right? If Nick goes and kills Ridley, and where Kipp goes all the way to the back of Turian, then comes back out, right? They're going to be kind of in the same spot. Now, granted, Nick doesn't have that gravity suit, but, you know, going through... Fortunately, we have a fairly connected red tower, so it's not... Getting through that is not too bad, and may just end up grabbing that at some point.
Yeah, and then we see, you know, Kipp probably making the correct play to not do reverse amphitheater there, so...
Yeah. Like I said, you can sort of... At this point, the map is solved, right? You just don't know where the two dead ends are, right? Yeah. And wreck ship is just a much quicker check. I would say it's better to just... Because you're not going to clear the top of wreck ship for ice or speed, I think. I think at this point, you should just commit to this Crystal Flash clip, right? You've got so much... Like, 35 in a Chozo, like, is unheard of for this clip. Like, I don't think you could ask for more. You have the bombs, like, this is... I have full faith Kipp will be able to get this off pretty quickly. So I would do East Meridia first, and then do wreck ship, because if wreck ship is Turian, then you're just done, right? And then if it's not, then you got to come back, but you had to come back anyways. Because your other option is doing wreck ship. You know, maybe you can spike ice or speed at the wreck ship E-tank, which wouldn't be that slow, but, you know, or you're committing to the top, which, you know, you got space jump and everything. It's not the worst, but it's certainly a lot of time.
So what's the best way to get to East Meridia?
That's a good question. It looks like Main Street and then over to Lower Norfair entrance.
Yep.
I mean, and that's a little like just closed loop over there. You're better off coming into the front of East Meridia. Now, if Kipp is really thinking about this Crystal Flash clip, he should be taking his suits off here. Also needs supers, which, do we have a...
Yeah, that's a good point.
Could just be going to this farm spot right here and then come back down.
I'm going to say he forgot, and now he just remembered he needs to go farm up.
Yeah, because I think there was a better spot on the... Yep, that's what we're doing. Okay. Where is he coming from? I don't know. There wasn't really a great spot. I mean, there's also the classic spot in Meridia, right?
Yeah.
That actually might have been slightly... No, because this is what, a 5 spawner versus those single bugs. So yeah, this is better. Nick's also going to have a fairly quick Ridley. No, it has enough missiles to make up that deficit. So it should be a pure ammo fight here as well. I stand by that he should be taking the suit off here, though, and to damage down. Because you probably gonna want to take your suits off anyways to damage down a little bit faster. From the Metroid, so like you still have to take them off and put them back on, so you're not really saving anything. And you know, it's not really like dangerous to come in here with that little health.
So yeah, and we'll see. I mean, I think most people prefer to do the Crystal Flash without suits for the Flash too, right?
That's wait. No, he does have bombs. But
yeah.
That's if you don't have bombs. If you do have bombs, it's easier. You leave the suit on so you can bounce up.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a you can see there he almost turned off charge and spazer. And he didn't. Yeah, sometimes you get a really annoying drop there to put you back over, but avoids that. Yeah, because he was taking those beams off. I assume I haven't played in like over a year, but I assume everyone's using the same method. I forget who came up with it. Stachio Cat, someone who showed it to me, but I think it was from someone else. Does get it quickly. Like I said, he would have been able to get that on 15 power bombs. So really nicely done. But yeah, the method without is you take both suits off and you take all your beams off and you go right into the wall. You just hold the button down for shoot. It'll shoot 4 times. On the 4th shot, you kind of like watch the little like explosion like get bigger, and like once it gets to like the level 2 bigness, basically is when you jump, and that's about where it is. And if you do it in the practice hack where you can have like the frames on it, most people can time that within about 3 frames consistently. And then it's basically like a 1 in 6 chance of getting it. So pretty reliable method. That's why you saw Kipp like trying to turn off his beams before he realized like, no, I have bombs, I can do it this way, which is way easier. But to do that, you need to take your suits off because you need to do the jump. You need to like do like a slow jump without gravity on, or at least take off gravity suit, not necessarily both. Yeah, definitely not. Kipp with 5 E-tanks. I think, you know, generally you won't see someone like Kipp picking up that many E-tanks. I think because there's this reverse amphitheater. And as I was saying yesterday, when you don't have this reverse amphitheater, you also don't have plasma for hitbox and anything. Even after you get to reverse amphitheater, you still have to go through some pirates and stuff to get out. So without screw attack or plasma beam, definitely gonna want this extra ammo just to make your life a little easier. Easy
nice.
Grapple kill.
Nice quick kill.
Yeah, mostly been paying attention to Kipp here because Nick's just, again, been following those footsteps. It looks like Nick basically did the exact same thing that Kipp did. Kind of realized that this either going to have Croc or... Although, you know, in Nick's eye, right, I think Nick actually would have been better going over there. Because Nick has the same thing where it's either Croc or Turian, right? But Nick doesn't have gravity. I think for Nick, the better play is to hope Croc is there, hope Croc is hiding gravity, right? And that could be a big turning point for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think the issue is that without gravity, Nick may think that it's not in logic, which I mean, it's technically not in logic without gravity to have to do.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, it wouldn't be the reverse amphitheater.
Now, if he thinks that, well, I probably should have found it somewhere, I don't know. I mean, if
this would make sense if he was looking for something. I mean, I guess like Ike's or Speed, right, could be back there for this logical thing, right? But he knows he's playing Kipp, who's going to go, well, I don't care.
Yeah.
Because it's a seed of 1 billion power bombs, right? Maybe if you only have like 10 power bombs a seed or 5, right, where it's like you need this, then you can do it. Again, it's just one that like it just, it just Kipp, pretty straightforward seed. Nick made that choice early that I defended, going that meme route, and ended up not following it. But even if he followed it, it wouldn't have worked out because of what we saw in there. So it just sometimes it be like that. And like these runners are way closer in than it's just, again, when you're playing Kipp, sometimes you start making even worse decisions because you start making the low percentage play because that's the only thing that'll get you to win. But it's a low percentage play, and when it doesn't work out, now you're even further behind. So, sometimes when you do these matches and you're playing to win, sometimes you lose by way more than like it quote unquote should be, just because you were sort of trying to turn a match around.
All right. Well, so while Kipp heads over to wreck ship, and Nick goes through. Oh, I guess Nick's going back.
Oh, is this? I guess this is the best place to farm. I mean, you have to, you could have farmed like metal. Well, I guess you can farm metal pirates without speed, really.
Oh, I think maybe the reverse amphitheater is the play.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like what we're saying, but again, like you're saying because of logic, it can't actually be there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and so I think that he must just be thinking that gravity was somewhere that he missed, and so he's. Yeah, I just don't know what this could be that would be worth it. But if you think
gravity, if you just go, oh, I missed gravity, right? Then you treat this like, go, because he has grapple, right? So he could play this like go mode, right? Do an RBO Dragon kill, all that stuff, right? So why would you be going to proc? I mean, or you could be like me, you didn't realize that's not in logic and think that gravity could be there, right? Like, I played these randomizers at a decently high level, and I didn't really know logic all that well, just because it was, especially for SM, it's just... I do it more like, can I actually do it or not? I don't really care about logic as much, and sometimes it burns you in these sort of situations where it's like, can this thing actually be over there? Like... Yeah, it is going to be coming through. And again, the unfortunate thing, in Nick's mind, the best case scenario is that it's Croc. That's actually the worst case scenario because Kipp's about to be done. So,
yeah.
Which I guess in a different sort of way, that's also a good scenario because we can just move on to game 2, where hopefully, again, Nick will not do what I like to call the perfect duck route, which is everything you've done is reasonable. It just was wrong. It was very wrong. Yeah, he knows it's Dennett, but it could be, like I've been saying, it could be Croc. Which, in this race, you'd feel like Kipp is very unlikely to do it, and you go like, well, maybe that's the answer, right? I have a feeling Nick doesn't know that this has to be out of logic. Because... Oh, no, please don't also... No, Nick, please. Oh, man. Hey, when it rains, it pours. Everyone put some love for Nick in the chat, because I have been in Nick's shoes, and it's not fun.
So now it's moment of truth.
Yeah, I'm honestly rooting for Croc again, just so the nightmare can end and we can move on to match 2. Where I have full faith that Nick will either take it or at least be very close. This just went. The wheels just fell right off this one, and who's gonna show us first? I think Kipp's gonna win. Oh baby, let's. Oh no, is Nick gonna die too? Oh, thank God. Honestly, thank God. Come on, Nick. I don't know what have been either we're gonna get the. So I don't know if he's relieved or upset at this point. Like,
well, he's got to commit. He's got to do it. We don't have the energy to get
I guess it's got to be relieved, right? Because what else would be over here, right?
Yeah.
So again, in Nick's mind, he's like, I'm either about to see the dot done, or this is going to be a long match that I have a chance in. Now he's about to see the dot done. This is the power. Don't need it. I bet Speeder Ice is back here, actually. I wouldn't be surprised if this is actually logical. Although, I guess we have all of Wreck Ship, too, right? So, that's, I guess, the more likely. Actually, in fact, how many locations haven't we checked? Like, there can only be one item here at Croc, right? So, that means Speed or Ice has to be at Wreck Ship, right? Because I don't think we have anything. What's really left?
Well, I mean, there's multiple Wreck Ship items.
But I'm saying there's only one. There's multiple Wreck Ships. So I'm saying Speed or Ice has to be there. But no, it could be exactly Speed or Ice at Screw Attack and exactly Speed or Ice at Croc. That's the only way that this is logical, right? That both of them have to be over here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the other one's just at Wreck Ship, and then Wreck Ship would have been better than doing all this mess. And in fact, that means no matter what, Croc is pointless, right? You could have just come to Screw Attack to. So there's no world in where this Croc is logical or required. I'm gonna laugh when it's Speed Booster, though, still.
Yeah, let's see. Oof.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, you know where else Speeder Ice could have been? Jackdaw.
Ugh.
Yeah. Because we did find, yeah, Gravity's the one that's not a major. It's very weird. But, like, it doesn't really matter because you have an item that's literally right next to Gravity that is a major, so, like, it's a bit of an oddball, but yeah.
So this will be a bit of a long fight for Kipp. I mean, not terrible, but 120 charge shot damage is not a ton.
Yeah, I mean, Kipp is also a low ice master, so it'll be a little bit of a lengthy fight, but I have 100% faith that we're getting through this just fine.
Yeah, and I guess he's got all those tanks, which he's used to doing it with 3, so.
I used to do it without high jump too.
Yeah.
That high jump, man, you don't think that makes much of a difference until you have to do a relatively. If you haven't practiced low ice, generally in Randomizer, a lot of times you're geared to the teeth, especially like in SMZ3. The first time you do a relatively low health high jumpless Mother Brain, you go, oh, this is kind of hard, huh? Well, we are going to see what this Screw Attack item is. X-ray. I'm calling it now. Just to X-ray and Spring Ball over here is just to rub as much salt in the wound as possible.
Plasma.
Well, you know, I said the one thing I like about the SM randomizer is, you know, a lot of times when you make a quote-unquote wrong choice, you get paid back a little bit because pretty much every item speeds you up. That plasma was not worth what we did to get it.
No, although, I mean, it technically can help you through the Three Musketeers, but...
Sure. Well...
Yeah, Plasma's pretty overpowered if you can get it, like, really early in the game, but at this point, it's just...
Yeah, Plasma and Screw Attack are the two things that I associate, like, a little bit more value with than just, like, the pure, like, damage-dealing abilities, because they facilitate lower Norfair so much.
Yeah.
You know, you're not really going to see a LN Hell Run in this at all, just because it's with Chozo and vanilla bosses, but, generally, I want at least one of those before I do a LN Hell Run, just because they help so much. Because otherwise, you're going to be almost certainly going to be taking additional damage from enemies that you do not want to be taking damage from, or you're going to just have to slow down enough to avoid it. So you really want one of those. And if you don't, you need a lot more health to compensate. Hey, we made use of that Spring Ball. Worth it. Yeah, Kipp, I don't see you spring balling around in this Mother Brain fight. He's gonna be so upset when he learned where that spring ball is.
All right, so just a reminder for everybody, we do have another match coming up right after this.
At least one more.
At least one more, that's right. As well as matches all throughout the rest of the day. I mean, I think we pretty much have matches going through, what, 10 o'clock or something like that?
Yeah, we're pretty packed today.
Oh, the last match, yeah. So the next match after Kipp and Nick, and really, actually, I guess Zeb and Nitro, Zeb316 and Nitro are about to start right now on Speed Gaming 4, or just in a few minutes. Theirs will also be a best of 3. And then on Speed Gaming Main later, around 8:40 Eastern, we'll have Farfaloo versus Derp. Best of 3 again. And Kipp through with Mother Brain 3.
Oh wait, the Zeb and Nitro starts in an hour, I think. Yeah, the first one's at 7:10 p.m.
Ah, got it. Like you said, I'm Central Time, so doing math is hard.
Yeah, I remember when I signed up for this, it was depending on whether there'd be a match 3 on this. I'm gonna potentially switch over for the other one. You gave me a little panic attack.
Sorry about that.
I'm doing about 8 jobs for this tournament, so I had to switch to my I switched to the coordinator hat real quick. I'm like, oh no, is it starting? There's no one signed up.
Yeah, well, you know, for me and the rest of the Dash team, we really appreciate all the work that you've done on this to get this all kind of set up. I know like you said, 8 hats, all these different things that you're having to take care of to do it. But and it was kind of last minute for us too, just like, well, hey, it's a long weekend. Let's see if we can throw something together. So appreciate it, and I think it's going great. So
yeah, I'm pleased. This is my first tournament that I've sort of been spearheading since I got brought on to speed gaming on staff. So I'm actually glad that it's a short tournament because was able to sort of like put all this stuff together, and like it's a good way to kick the tires, especially a community that I'm from. So I know all you guys. It's easy to slip in. But yeah, we do have Kipp finishing up at it looked like 54-17 on the restream. I'm not sure what the race. Again, I have too many windows open. It's in one of these 800 tabs I got. I don't know.
So yes, Kipp's official time was 54-17 on the race time timer.
Yeah, very well done. And I believe Nick just is going to go ahead and forfeit. Cannot absolutely again. Like once you saw that, you really like once he saw what was behind Croc, he knew he was done. But yeah, when he saw that Croc, he was like, I either got a chance or this is going to be over soon. Either way, probably good for him. So, but yeah, second match will be coming up in just about 10 minutes. They'll be getting started shortly, and then we do have that 10-minute delay. So we are going to be taking a break here, but we will be back on this same bat channel here in about 10 minutes. So get a drink, go to the bathroom if you guys need to, and join us back for the hopefully it's exciting conclusion. Let's all hope Nick takes this second match so we can get a third one.
Hello again, Speed Gaming. We are back for race 2 of this best of 3 set in the Dash Spring Invitational between Kipp and Nikplayer21. Kipp took the first match, and so we're going to get a chance here in just a few minutes. The players are going to start. We'll get a chance to see if Nick can come back and push us to game 3. My name's Mass Hysteria. I'm joined by Apathy Duck.
Hey, how's it
going? Duck, how you doing?
Doing good. Doing about the same as I was doing 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, good.
Have some tea now, so that helps.
So we also have tracking with us. We have Diggity Diggity Dang. I guess that's just Dang from last time. I don't know.
Yeah, that is Dang from last time. Why did their name change? That's interesting. Okay, that's odd.
And so again, for anybody new coming on, the settings for this Super Metroid randomizer race that we're having are Chozo area settings. So the guys are going to be heading down here to get Morph Ball, as well as their first Chozo item, which is at the Alpha Missile location. So we'll go down and we'll see if there's a power bomb. If there is, then they have the potential to check the meme route portal over here in the Retro PVEs area. Otherwise, we'll be going up to the top and doing sort of our normal criteria run through.
One second, I had a little technical. I think Dang got put in on the wrong. There we go. Hopefully that'll send up the ping.
Oh, I gotcha. So while that's happening, we did see both runners have picked up Super Missile Pack, as well as their first charge upgrade. So now for this specific settings that we have, this is actually what we call Starter Plus over on the Dash site. So there's 2 charge upgrades in the game instead of just 1. The first charge upgrade gives you charge beam doing double vanilla shot damage, and then the second upgrade takes you to 3x, which is what you get in the normal game. So prior to that, they have what we call a starter charge beam, which lets them do undamaged shots, but they're both upgraded at this point to twice vanilla damage. So. But we do see that without power bombs, both runners are going up to the top. We see Kipp doing the behemoth climb, and then over on the right, Nikplayer doing the wall jump climb. Both very speedy. Really comes down to player execution as to how fast any of those climbs are going to be. But both of them just powering through it real quick. So given what we found thus far, more than likely we should be getting something here that allows us to, there we go, power bombs, that allows us to open up those bricks to go left up here at the top of Parlor. All right, so both players doing the Alcatraz escape and remembering to check the 230 missiles here.
I'm just putting my name all over stream now. There we go. Let's get me off that tracker. All right. Apologize for that, folks. Hopefully, all we found so far was charge, I believe, right?
Got the first charge upgrade, and now this wasn't the Chozo charge upgrade. This was just happened to be one they found in the ceiling, as well as they've gotten their power bombs and super missiles. So, but not the Chozo ones.
Oh, so I didn't realize the second charge is actually not on the Chozo. It's just anywhere.
Yeah, it's just like an ammo pack, and so if you check a bunch of spots, you might find it. If you don't, you're not guaranteed to find it because it's not on a Chozo.
Right. So I think I saw you talking. I don't know if this is different from Varia or not, but it's what 50 or like it assigns weights to everything, and then it's like it rolls each item individually. So it's like 50% for a missile, 25% for a super, or 25 for a power bomb.
Yeah. So I mean, yep.
So does that? I guess that means you place the E-tanks and the charge first, and then every other one you roll for. Is that correct?
That's right. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's pretty standard. I think all of the the standard 3-2-1. We use the 2-1-1 a lot when we're doing like starter charge and charge plus, just because you don't have to worry about soft locking on the bosses. And in this case, we're really trying to see, based on the skill level of the player, like how willing they would be to do a lower percent type fight.
Right. Yeah.
But the approach, when we use the 2-1-1 approach, the rolling it that way, from my understanding, all totals work that way, and I believe the Varia one works that way too, where you're not guaranteed to have that exact distribution. It's just every time we place a minor item, you got a 50% chance of this, 25% of that, 25%.
Right. Yeah, I never knew that. So.
Yep.
Well, this first half of this match has been all technical analysis, so I'm sure everyone is enjoying that. But we did say earlier that Nick did not deserve that fate from round one, and you can see right. I mean, they're literally right on top of each other.
Oh yeah.
So like you can see Nick's execution is up there with literally the best of them. So no meme route peeking today. I guess Nick learned his lesson.
Oh, yeah, and they didn't have the power bomb pack.
They didn't have the power bomb. I saw the power. I wasn't sure where they got it, so they didn't have the power bomb this time. Okay. It looks like neither of them actually got the jump far enough. Yeah, both will be turning around. Let's see if anyone is going to be going for it. Nick is going to be going for it. Ooh, that looked good. Kipp was actually able to say that's actually hard to quite tell that you're gonna miss it by 1 frame there. Nick does get it.
Nice.
Kipp resets the room. That's good. Good jump. Oh, had the frame. Did not quite get it.
So this is painful. So this means that Retro PV's meme route is the answer.
At 2, Nick. There's got to be some cursing on the breath for Nick. Yeah, I'm not sure why you turn off charge for. I mean, you're just moonwalking. Like, it doesn't much. Yeah, maybe that'd be interesting. Audra, if you want to remind me if we get Kipp in for an interview to ask him. I know most runners will ask about routing and decisions. I want to ask about technical audio cues. Yeah, Kipp really just wasting a lot of. At some point, like, honestly, like. I mean, I guess his only other option right now is to go back down, right?
Yep.
So it feels like this is just as likely to be it. And Kipp also knows he's... Like, each time you do this, it's only a couple seconds, and Kipp knows he should be able to hit this. There we go. So it's, you know... yeah. Unfortunate. Nick with a nice early lead, though. This is about the handicap I want when I'm playing Kipp. So... Nick's in a good spot right here, hitting his CWJ, not first try, but first retry, which is really, really good.
E-Tank's really nice to find right there, too.
Does take the hit, but does have the extra health, so is fine. And comes out tube. Shoutouts to that clip.
Alright. Free Aqueduct.
Wow. This is, like, we were saying the last seed is linear. This one is literally, there's no other, it is forcing you to go this way. Now, like, normally, again, I was saying, when you're playing a guy like Kipp, you know, you're just, like, you know, you want to get some divergence, because you know if you're just, like, in his footsteps, that's a really rough race to try to win. You know, Nick doesn't know that Kipp had, you know, the somewhat uncharacteristic issues, and Nick has a sizable lead right now, especially for a linear seed, right? Like, I mean, if this was just a speed run, like, having a difference of 4 or 5 rooms like this would be massive.
So as the new guy here, I'm not exactly sure how, if you can update it to show that Kipp has the one victory from the previous match.
Oh, yeah, there's a little score tab.
So let's see what this red tower door is going to give Nick. Okay, into green, Bren. A little indecision. I think he was kind of thinking about going back up red Brinstar. That's a tough call. What do you think is the right play there? Go ahead and follow this, or check that Chozo at the top?
Sorry, was that a question, or were you just...
I was just wondering if you had an opinion on it, but that's, you know, it's hard for me to think if I would want to follow that green or if I'd want to keep going and see what the top had before looping back to it.
Yeah, I think the thing about, like, the top of, like, red Brinstar, like, there's multiple doors there, right? So you're just as, like, you know, pretty easily also able to spit yourself out just later on.
Yeah.
You know, very well could, like, green Brinstar could just loop around, right? In which case, this is a little shortcut. Green's Brinstar is also, you know, pretty dense location for items, which shows that we got 3 there. Plus, like, you know, when you do early supers, right, there's just a bunch of miners.
Well, and it's interesting, we do have the divergence here. So now Kipp is going to go ahead and go up. And so we see Nick in following Green Brinstar over into Upper Norfair. So, okay, just a super missile down there at high jump boots. I guess potentially what's at ice could make a really big difference versus what Kipp's about to get over here at Alpha PBs.
Yeah, I mean, this is just, it's going to be one that X-ray scope. That's a big old whiff.
Yeah.
Unless you get, well, I guess in this you only need plasma, right, for it to be worth. I assume you can still X-ray or microwave on with your crappy charge, right?
Yeah, it's funny though because it takes
I'm
like.
sure it does take forever, yeah, but it at least technically does something. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if you can necessarily like 1-round Fantoon that way, but you know, Dragon would certainly be better than you know, just it would take a while, but instead of just letting Dragon fly off screen over and over again.
Yeah, one might assume that since I work on the dash stuff that I'd be good at those, but I like even with Dragon, it still takes me 2 or 3 swoops using the starter charge with the plasma and the X-ray, just because it just takes so much damage. Still.
Yeah, I mean, getting Dragon in a single swoop, yeah, even with without full beam, if you just have plasma, is pretty tricky in normal situations. I did see a reset from Nick. Wasn't sure what. Was that just Ice Beam, and Ice Beam was garbage, so we just got a quick reset on it?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, that's always the smart thing to do because of oh, it was bombs and he reset it. Interesting. That's yeah, I definitely would have kept. I mean, you don't like having this help, but you're coming back out on Green Brinstar. You should be able to, you know, you're not really too worried about damage there, and you have a nice little farm. I would certainly at least attempt to keep it, right? And if you don't, then
yeah, that's a good point. I mean, if you die on the way out, it's no big deal. Other than it, you know, the pride.
The pride in it, you know, you did take a couple extra seconds, so.
So, I mean, we're going to see them both following a pretty similar path here. The interesting thing will be if Green Brinstar. I mean, we've got 3 Chozo statues here, so there's a really good chance. Well, yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So I was, you know, I was saying that, you know, Red Brinstar, sometimes you'll just get dumped back out. It looks like half of it is, half it's East Meridia and the other half is, wait. Half is East Meridia and, oh no, they're both East Meridia. It actually loops in on itself. So that's actually, that's the worst case scenario. So when I was saying, like, I like to leave it because you're going to get dumped back out in there. In this, like, closed loop scenario, like, you're never going to go out there. So Nick's going to be forced back over there. Now, the good thing is, it's East Meridia, right? So you're not, you know, it's not until you get gravity, right? So, like, I mean, we know gravity's not over there, so I wouldn't be surprised if Nick gets a pretty big clue that, like, you know, Meridia is going to be over there and might be able to get back. So that knowledge for Kipp is certainly valuable, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's good enough, especially in this seed, that I think that what Nick did in general is better. Kipp also didn't follow Norfair at all, or did he just not go that way to see it, that it was over there?
I think he went, but I think he didn't follow it. Chad will correct me, but I thought.
Yeah,
he
he's saving time there. I guess nothing was really there in Norfair. He's likely to do that Norfair though later. I get the only thing he'll almost certainly keep the bombs. It's unlikely that you're just never going to check those, right? So, I mean, I guess in you know, depending on where gravity, if you sort of just hit go mode before. Save the elevator rides. That's a good point. We do have that elevator. There's our logical. So we have full charge beam now. I think this is the first time I've seen an actual full-on charge in this. I guess with that second charge being in a minor location. There's so many minor locations, and especially in shows, like you're just never gonna look at, right? Like,
Yep.
You know, there's a bunch of minors that you get all the time, and there's a bunch of minors that you're just never gonna do. Like, so.
The number of times that charge upgrade is in Billy Mays is probably pretty high.
Billy Mays, or just like anywhere in West Meridian besides Crab, Supers, or Main Street, right?
Yeah.
Like, those are the two that, you know, you can at least scout it and see it, and you might grab, but no one's going over to Mama Turtle. Unless you're really hard up for, like, if you just have no beam and you're really hard up for ammo and something, like, pretty unlikely to get over there.
DJ saying he saw it at Climb Supers. Somebody went to Climb Supers looking for it?
Wait.
That's funny.
You know, if it spits you out in meme route late, right, and you have speed, right, it's actually not the worst. I mean, even just, like, picking up the... Oh, it was in the credits. Oh, okay. But it is not the worst, you know, if you do come out that way and you have, it's just, that doesn't happen very often, but it's not the worst minor to get, right? It's really just an extra 2 door transitions, and then you get to do you know, you get to just speed boost up there. It's not awful.
All right, so with Nick getting Kraid here, I mean, this is really, you know, in my mind, this is pretty good because you have to clear this. May as well do it now.
I was, you know, Audra was making fun of me for saying, and only an extra 2 door transitions. I said it's not the worst, but because you do have this charge beam, and it's always at least technically possible to kill Mother Brain, you actually see, like, you know, because like in like the traditional Varia Chozo, right? You'll see this choice of like, oh, do I go for ammo or do I hunt for charge, right? Because like if you hunt for like, there's literally only one place it could ever be, right?
Yep.
But here you always at least can kill Mother Brain, so like you're never forcing yourself to like hit an exact. If you're like 5 or 10 super short, you're like, close enough, right? So it does take away that, like, so you're never really gonna do, like, I've done like Waterway in you know, Chozo before, just because it's like that's all like I had to do, right? Like that was what was left, and it was either gonna be enough ammo there or it wasn't. Here you're never in that dire straits. It's just gonna be, it's always just those missile packs just literally strafe you a set amount of time, so you're never going to see the real oddball ones in this, where without that charge, you might.
So yeah, I mean, really, you know, other than the little bit of time Kipp saved thus far, I mean, Nick's still, you know, several, I'd say, maybe 2 minutes ahead, 3 minutes ahead.
Yeah. Something like that. And the thing is, again, like, you know, since we haven't had Gravity just fall in our lap and are basically in go mode, you know, Kipp is almost certainly going to come right back to Upper Norfair, and he's going to do those 2 checks. So Nick's actually going to be picking up even more time. Because there's no way Kipp doesn't do those checks at this point, so he will have to do it. It will be more efficient for him because, again, we save those elevator transitions, and Kipp is going to walk away with bombs, where Nick, at this, I really doubt Nick is going to go back for them right now. Okay, yes, we have speed. I guess it's our only Ken fly, right? So maybe he goes back for the. Oh, and oh no, this is bad. Yeah. Oh, he's going down.
Oh,
he's going for X-ray? Oh, this is big. This is big plays right here if we're going for X-ray.
Interesting.
This is actually a really if he just comes in, just dips for X-ray and doesn't worry about up top. I guess it depends on what's here. He's probably gonna go up top though.
Solid early X-ray.
Yeah, it's really good. Gravity here would be. I was about to say Gravity would be great for Nick, because then if you do go up, then you just kill Dragon. Also, if anyone didn't see Game 1, the reason the commentators are just openly in the tank for Nick is Nick had a real rough time in round 1, just with the seed did not play out the way that Nick needed the seed to play out, and kind of got lost in the woods. So we're hoping for some from retribution here for Nick's sake. Not that we don't like Kipp as well, but Kipp had a pretty easy time game 1. We need Kipp to take a little pain. Is gonna go up. This does make sense. You know, you could argue again, like just what I was saying, like maybe I'm gonna get spit back out here later. You have pretty good map knowledge. I guess the only thing you're really looking for right now is wreck ship. But you know, you could certainly make the choice that like, hey, I'm just gonna go to Norfair, check out those other 3 doors. I got all of Bubble Mountain to clear.
Yeah, I mean, he is going to figure out all the East Meridia portals. So I mean, there's definitely knowledge, but some of the lead is probably kind of.
I think the lead's all completely gone, because by the time he does all this, Kipp's going to get all this, and he's going to be heading over to the other side of Upper Norfair, and that's where Nick is going to be heading to. So yeah, Kipp is going to take the lead back on this.
I don't think it's going to be too big of a jump, but I guess we'll see.
I mean, Nick's got another 2 elevators to go through. Don't forget.
Oh yeah, I mean, Kipp's definitely going to be in the lead. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It may not be insurmountable.
No, we got a lot of game left. Like, we don't even know where wreck ship is. Although it's well, it's either wreck ship is off this Upper Norfair, or we're going to find gravity to get wreck ship through West Meridia. It looks like are the 2 options. Or do we have high jump? We don't have high jump. We could also get high jump to get wreck ship through West Meridia.
Yeah.
Through that the pre-aqueduct. If you missed the start of the seed, this seed has been incredibly linear. The reason Nick got an early lead was that Kipp actually, Nick nailed CWJ on the first retry, where Kipp took a good like 3 minutes to do it, which is very uncharacteristic. And besides that, I mean, it's, you know, Nick went left, you know, did Norfair when he first saw it, and Kipp skipped it, but like the seed's been 100% linear. Yeah, Nick's really only behind these like 2 room, well, plus the elevator. So, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be something like 30 seconds.
Yeah, the thing is, like, there's not going to be a lot of this. This is almost going to be 100% linear seed, because like whatever we find in Upper Norfair is going to tell us where to go next, right? We're either going to find high jump or gravity. Well, I mean, I guess we have the Lower Norfair. We have the Lower Norfair's clearable now, right? Logically?
Yeah.
Yeah, because... Oh, wait, no. Oh, yeah, through the back door.
Through the back door, yeah.
Through the back door, right, logically. So gravity could be there. Screw attack location is not in logic. Because we'd either need to lava dive or reverse amphitheater for that.
Yeah, I guess the question is, you know, we did see Croc, and neither player did Croc, so...
Oh, we did see Croc. Oh, yeah, Croc's up there. Okay, yeah.
At the normal elevator entry door. Is that what we call UN1?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I had to learn them yesterday, and I've forgotten all of them. I had some of our, again, as I say, I respect our trackers so much. I had people in chat who had done tracking before that were telling me the numbers without even looking at the tracker. I'm like, how? Like,
Nice, Audra.
Yeah, I'm sure you do get used to it. Again, just from my only experience with it is running. So it's whatever I have in my crazy head, and or co-op, and then we have to argue about what things should be called.
Okay, so Ice Beam. Yeah, is it back at Croc? That's the question.
Yeah, Ice Beam is not... once you have that speed, the Ice Beam's not too useful. It is nice to have, you know, especially if you don't have the 15 power bombs. It's actually going to be better for Nick. Nick doesn't have that 15th power bomb, so that is what will officially get him through the Metroids. I mean, you can do it with 10, right? But we're basically considering that not an option. It's so slow, or you have to be very lucky. One of the two.
Okay, so let's see. So Kipp found the redfish portal there at single chamber. So
that could be wreck ship down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're kind of feeling like Main Street probably wants to have wreck ship, right?
Well, especially since we haven't found. I mean, at this point, it has to be. Yeah, it has to be, right? I mean, one of it's going to be on. Well, so wreck ship it does have to be there, but the other one also has to be in Upper Norfolk, so you don't actually have to do it, right? Because that's all the only two that we're left, right? We have 2 ends of wreck ship and we have 2 portals we haven't seen. This Crocomire door and the Main Street in West Meridia.
Yeah, I think the issue is if this is back of wreck ship here, I don't think Kipp can get through. So he's gonna.
That's a good point. Yeah. I forgot we can't actually necessarily get through, and it is. Yeah. Yeah. So we do have to. So somehow I was about to say, we can't even force us to go through. It did actually force us to go through. So, but again, like, you know, Nick's gonna check this too. Like,
yeah,
this is like the most linear seed I've ever seen.
Oh, and Kipp's going across. Maybe he's changed his mind.
Yeah, I think he realized. He realized that West Meridia has to be wreck ship, because otherwise you don't really want to do that, right? You know, if it could have been 1 or 2 other things, maybe you get soft lock, you have to reset and everything. That's a big time waste, and you might as well just do Croc. But now that if you take a second, you realize I literally only have 1 door, then you're good to go.
Does Nick? I don't.
Oh no.
Unless Nick has some ability that I'm unaware of.
We do have ice.
Yeah,
he's realizing. Yeah.
I was gonna say I was trying to convince myself I could do it with just ice the other day, and so then after I soft locked.
Did you do it with ice and bombs? No, I guess not. I don't know that. I'm in Nick's shoes where, like, I think like, oh yeah, I can do this, and I sort of forget that you can't. Like, I know, like, early on in the seed, I'm like, oh, I can't do this, and then later on it. I like how they've basically both made the same. Oh, Nick or Kipp did go to Croc.
Yeah, I mean, this could be it. Like, I mean, if yeah, I think Nick knows that.
Well, this could be it, unless this is gravity at Croc,
Yeah,
in which case
I'm
leaving. I'm just gonna quit if it is.
Oh, Nick's going to Croc too.
No, Nick, please. Do we only know that's a fact because of shared information? But no, I think they've both seen every door, right? Yeah, because it's been linear. Like, they've both seen every door. So... Now, I mean, like... So you do have, wreck ship, but, like, you know, wreck ship is also kind of gross. It's just, I guess it's just, there's 3 items there versus 1, right? So you're more likely for it to be the thing.
Yeah.
And Simo is coming in to tell us the truly corrupt stuff. I'm sure there is. I think there's like some corrupt deboost way you can do it.
Well, if you're a new runner and you want to try it out, I will tell you that we will not require you to do that.
Now, Space Jump again. Man, this would have been really interesting if Nick did go the other way, because Space Jump isn't really gonna be, you know, not gonna make up this entire time, but it was gonna speed you up a ton, right? So it would have been interesting to see, you know, if Nick went to wreck ship and maybe got a gravity there, and then. Although we keep forgetting, gravity could just be. I keep saying like, oh, go to wreck ship. It could just be lower Norfair.
Yeah.
But yeah, that divergence would have been interesting, and then to see Kipp have this space jump in hand and see if, you know, because Nick certainly would have almost certainly been in the lead there, with either probably with either of those decisions, and seeing if Kipp could catch up with that space jump would have been fun.
Is Kipp heading back to X-Ray?
Oh, did Kipp never do X? Oh, Kipp never did X-Ray.
Mm-mm.
I think Kipp might be doing X-Ray and then lower Norfair. I think lower Norfair does make a little bit more sense, because with you know, and even though that screw attack is out of logic, right? I mean, doesn't mean you can't do it, right? So yeah, you can do X-Ray here, and then you can go down to the bottom of Red Tower to get to lower Norfair front, right? Just do the lava dive. Which should be doable on the... Oh, no, we don't have... You'd have to do the high jump list. That'd be rough.
Yeah. I know he's not afraid to do it, but...
No.
But here we're getting... I mean, Nick's making the play now that... I mean, this would do it if he finds gravity in wreck ship.
Right. But again, it's going to do it for Kipp if he finds it in lower Norfair, if we go to lower Norfair.
Oh yeah, but at least we got some divergence.
Yeah. And I guess the trek back to... How did we get to Red Tower originally? Oh, we have to go... Oh, meme route, that's what it was. So we have to go meme route and all the way. So yeah, to get to the back of lower Norfair this is a very long trek. And what do we got? We have, so it's 2 versus 3? 2 in lower Norfair, 3 in upper in wreck ship?
1, 2. Is it just 2 in wreck ship? 3. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, it's 3, because it's wreck ship, E-tank, right side supers, and not gravity. Which we really should be calling that spot not gravity, honestly. Yeah, with space jump you can do this as long as you don't make a mistake. Because if you fall down there, then you're back to kind of... that's not in logic, right?
No, that's not either.
Right. But we know this isn't logic because you can just come the other way.
That's right.
But Nick using this as a nice little shortcut, so... Oh, no, Kipp is going to do this... Yeah, I mean, if you were confident, like, in this, when I was at the top of my game, I got pretty decent at one-shotting this. Oh, no! Alright. I think Kipp took a save, so should be okay. Oh, it doesn't get it again. I don't know if he's gonna have time for a third. We do have a... Crystal Flash ammo on board. Let's see. Yeah, I thought it was... I didn't think it was necessarily intentional, but, like, half intentional. He may just be signed just to go around the other way. Again, that's what's in logic. This was just the faster way. He did have, you know, some issues with that CWJ earlier, and now is, you know, especially with hard tricks like this, you know, ooh, we got a super on Dragon, or Fantoon, whatever this guy is. But you know, Kipp's, you know, playing really well. It just like some of these tricks that just require like precise inputs. You know, if you're just a little off, you know, this just might be discretion is the better part of valor. But it does open a big window here for Nick. Now, if Gravity is in Lower Norfair and... Or, no, or is he coming... No, he's coming back to wreck ship, so now Nick's just going to have a pure lead.
Yep.
Oh, did we get a... Okay, I was about to say, did we get another super? That was a mid-left. Oh, no. Kept making some unruly faces.
So yeah, I mean, I think if I'm Nick, I'm gonna be probably, you know, just clearing all these until I find Gravity.
Yeah, once you've made this choice, there's no way you're going up top. Or you're skipping up top, because then you're banking on it only being in Lower Norfair. The only thing I can, like, you know, this seed's been so, and again, I was saying, like, I mean, when's the last time, like, Kipp lost a match to straight up execution, which is, you know, and again, it was basically those two tricks, not that he hasn't been playing well. But like this has just been such a linear seed. If you're Nick, you got to be like, oh, you know, we're doing the exact same thing. Kipp's got to be ahead of me.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just, you know, Kipp, and you know, Kipp is taking this somewhat slower way instead of using Nick's little fancy shortcut. But you know, maybe if you're Nick, maybe you double guess yourself and go like, I just gotta hope it's, you know, maybe I do need to cut off the top of wreck ship, and maybe that's going to be enough to keep me in the race. Maybe you double guess yourself, you know, which would be, if that happens, that's a pure reputation win on Kipp's side, if that's what ends up happening, which would be funny if you're anyone but. Oh, there's Gravity.
There we go.
That's huge, because that's go mode, and we're so. Yeah, this is such an incredibly linear seed, like, and I'm sitting here talking about like stuff you could have possibly done, but yeah, it's just gonna be can Nick fend off Kipp? You know, and Kipp's a good runner, but like this is a pretty wide gap. You know, again, if you're just looking at this as a pure speed run now, like this is. You know, runners are like, even like me and Kipp's like 80% times differ by like 2 minutes, like, and like Kipp's way better than me. But you know, making up 2 minutes in basically, you know, a third of a speed run is like unheard of. You know, and if see from Nick's a really good runner.
Oh yeah.
That being said, we do have, you know, we have all of Lower Norfair. This is going to be a fairly rough Lower Norfair. You know, we don't have, I mean, God, Lower Norfair with high jump plus with speed is just, like, your movement is so wonky. And we don't have Screw Attack or Plasma to deal with the Metal Pirates, so it's basically just taking Pirates to the face is all you can really do. I think the somewhat good news for Kipp to at least keep your sanity on this, if not that, you know, Kipp's a very good competitor and everything, and you know, if Kipp did nail that high jump list, right, the answer just wasn't there. Would have wasted just as much time probably clearing out Screw Attack and everything.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't that mistake that ended up. Honestly, even with the CWJ, I think that if you just take Kipp's I just end up being this this was such a linear seed. There was this one decision point, and it, Nick got it and Kipp did it, and I think that probably would be the difference as well. Assuming there's no, Lower Norfair can still go sideways. Meridia is going to be pretty straightforward. I don't foresee any problems there.
Okay, so I think that's right. That's right. We had both East Meridia doors over here.
Yeah, it was the double.
Yep. Oh wow! And so this is going to be super nice for Nick for Lower Norfair too, because that Three Musketeers comes out just right next to Tourney.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, so you can you're just gonna go bother red. Yeah. Every once in a while there's one of these seeds pops up that I go like, this would be an interesting seed just to run as a speed run.
Yeah. How quickly could you do it?
Yeah, this is like one of the ones that like if you just ran it a bunch, right? Like, because you do have that Three Musketeers exit and everything. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a screw, if you know where everything is, maybe you get like a screw attack or something to really rip through Lower Norfair. Because that's like the one thing that's going to kind of hold back like some pure speedrun strats down there.
Yeah, actually, interestingly, one of the things we've been working on was generating spoiler logs that can be downloaded by the players if you wanted to do a spoiler race with this. I know it's a little more popular with some other games, and maybe doesn't show up in Super Metroid quite as much. I think this one might be a good candidate for that. The players would have a few minutes to kind of look at the log and then just see what they could do. Still a bit in development, but.
Yeah, I've always liked the spoiler log races. I wish they were more popular in SMT3. I think that's like would be one of the better ways of doing it. Especially, there's so much dumb stuff you can do in SMT3. If you just knew where everything was, like, you can do some pretty crazy routing, and it's going to be pretty low percent too.
Yeah.
Doing the spark strats on Dragon without high jump is awful. I do want to give a shout out to Audra in chat, who I saw doing a 3 spark without high jump one time, which I am still pretty sure was magic, some sort of witchcraft. I didn't even know that was a thing that could happen.
It's all done. No checking the item. Just let's get on out of here. I think probably. Yeah, no more checks to your point, because Nick's probably thinking, well, if we're doing the exact same thing, I just gotta go.
Yeah, like, God, I can't, like, if you're Nick, you gotta be like, oh, this is done, right? Like, because again, it's such a linear seed. I will say one of my greatest weaknesses when I'm playing random is like, I don't have a good ability to like kind of like figure out where all the like real decision points were, like when I'm racing a seed versus like commentating like this. Some players are a lot better at that than I am. So maybe you do realize there was just like one big decision point and you made the right one, but even then it's like at most it's a 50-50, and is Kipp good enough to go the other way and still win? But yeah, I think if you're Nick, you can't be feeling good, but it's gonna be, assuming Nick does hold on to take this, and I think he will. I think Nick's gonna feel really good about this win, because after that first one just went so poorly. Just again, reasonable decisions. Just sometimes it be like that, and having this one, which just felt like a pure execution race, and coming away with the victory has got to feel really good. nice moonfall.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, Nick's heading over to Lower Norfair to do the back entrance from Three Musketeers. I thought he could have got to the front entrance a little quicker.
Yeah, Derp's pointing this out. You don't necessarily need to do just doing back to back, because the front you have to go through the front and everything, go through pillars, go up worst room in the game.
Yeah.
I think Derp is actually right. Just doing back and back is actually the correct thing. It really is I gave Nick really big props on this, because I do think this is the correct thing to do. But yeah, I think both of us would have went the front of Orphan, just because it's just right there. It's like, how can that not be correct, right? But,
yeah. Well, he was so low on health too. I mean, he was down to under 100. So,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, because you just have to, instead of doing all in front of Lower Norfair, right? You just go up, and then you get this nice ship refill.
Well, so yeah, so I think Kipp's going straight to the front.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Yeah, I think it's gonna be I think it is close, right? Because you do get to cut out this. You don't need to make that like climb. If you wanted to do any farming at all, right? Like that ship refill just becomes so juicy. Going back for that missile. I mean, yeah, our beam is bad. There's really no other way to put it. It's just straight up bad. Maybe Kipp just wants revenge on this lava dive.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point. You know, we do have Nick's totally set up with, you know, almost full supers. So Ridley's going to be super quick.
Yeah, that's the other downside. I mean, that ship does take, you know, just doing the refill takes, I think 12 seconds, right? Just to actually go in, and plus, you know, killing your momentum from speed booster and everything. It's always what I have in my head. It's about a 12-second time loss.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get the full supers. You know, Kipp's low on that. Doesn't quite have the missiles to make up for it. We'll get some back from, you know, generally Metal Pirates. Did that Metal Pirate drop a missile? Oh my god. The Nick still does get back up to 40. That would... If you're like grinding speedruns and Metal Pirate drops you a missile, you just turn the system off. You just go, you know what? Today is not the day. It is not the day. I didn't even know that was a thing that could happen. Is that like one of those like 1 out of 255s, or?
You got me.
Because I know that's what Cax will drop a energy when it's the 1 out of 250. I didn't think anything could drop a missile like that though. I'll just blame it. I'll blame the devs. It's clearly a randomizer error.
Definitely.
It's 2. I mean, even 2% seems high. maybe it's just one of those. Yeah, because I guess like the bugs also have a low drop rate. Nick had a really quick word with fight. Did Nick? Sorry. Once again, I got trapped in my talking about pedantic numbers. Did Nick check the Ridley item?
I did not notice him check the Ridley. I think he just dipped straight out. But I mean, Chad will correct us if not. But okay,
He did. It was grab. Okay, yeah. I was about to say, like, with this beam and everything, I you know, Spazer and Plasma being there, or have we found our logical charge? This is the one where we found it in the ceiling, wasn't it? Or no, that was the first match.
I feel like we found. It's all running together.
I think charge was on charge in this one. That's what it was. So, okay, it couldn't have been.
Yeah, I think we're full charge.
Nick trying to be cute and save a little power bomb there, but is that technically faster too? We are getting a safety save here. This feels this is one of those again. I kind of when you're playing with someone like Kipp. Oh, that's a great manip. Does that work all the time? I need to learn that.
Yeah, there's some good ones. I think it was in the previous match, not like the Audra match from earlier. That there was some manip like that going on from Idol. It's like maybe a map rando thing that people have figured out.
The forbidden save manip. Yeah. I don't know if that's new or just something I never knew because I've been out of it for about a year, so any of the fancier stuff the last year I'm not aware of, but. Yeah, I mean, I will say that one is always just, that save is just always rough because, when you come out of it, that guy nails you. So, like, a lot of times when you have low health, can be, I learned that I saved there in RBO and a relay and died there a bunch. It was very, very bad.
This is really interesting right now. Okay. I was like, Nick being so super cautious there.
Yeah, well, I was saying because I was saying that save is a bit of a red herring save because, like, let's say Nick did die in Three Musketeers there. Well, it wasn't actually saving him anything because he's now behind, he'd be coming out right now, right behind Kipp or right on top of Kipp, and Kipp is probably gonna, again, Nick's a great player, but I think in going blow for blow in Turian, I think Kipp would come out ahead in that. So, like, you take those safety saves because it makes you feel good in the moment, but, like, a lot of times it's like, it's not really gonna save you, right? Like, sure, you'll just, it's the lose, there's win more, there's lose more. It's like one of those lose less things, right? Like, you're still gonna lose either way, it's just gonna be by a little less than you would have, right? And it's more likely to cost you the match because if Kipp was, like, really on your heels, right? And he's not that far behind now. That extra time could be the difference. But yeah, Kipp just taking that little bit of extra energy and just blasting through. That's another thing. Like I said, Kipp tends to play. I feel like he plays a little bit more conservative with like skips and item, pickups, and that's just not being conservative. I think Kipp just really realizes that like with taking this health, like that extra health. A lot of players will go like, "Oh, I'm good enough. I don't need the extra health." But Kipp just knows like, "Oh, like I can we'll be able to like tank a couple extra like hits or something that'll speed me up a ton." So, he knows all those like little things, and it's one of the. I think he realizes how much like minors and the other stuff helps versus some other players. And I'm very much calling out myself here. I'm definitely. Our ammo is almost the same. Kipp has just barely more missiles. Not really, you know, that having extra missiles only gonna save like maybe a second. We have the exact same beam. This is like basically the one setup where you can't really do baby skip, so Kipp's not gonna be able to save 30 seconds there. So
yeah, I think it looks like it's just gonna come down to, as long as Nick doesn't have any issues, which I mean, I wouldn't expect any, with Mother Brain 2 or weird take some onion rings or something, but
it will be a slightly long fight, and like I said, you know, that Mother Brain without high jump fight, if you're not a low ice player, like, it can sort of sneak up on you. We'll have not a ton of shots, but, you know, we're going to need a fair few. And, you know, can only take... We effectively, have 5 E-tanks here, you know, so... You slip up a little bit, and you take one, you know, catch up at the wrong time. But, yeah, I do have full faith in Nick to pull this off, and, you know, as good as Kipp is, you know, like we said, like, you know, speedrunning this game, like, you know, 10 seconds is considered a massive amount of time. You know, and for Kipp to even make up that much would be considered a lot. And, you know, Nick is ahead by a little more than like 30. It's like 30 to 40 seconds. A baby skip, theoretically, if it was possible, would have made it close. But and that's like a 30-second save. But yeah, this is gonna be real close. Yeah, I see Nick just taking an onion ring right there. Didn't take too much damage, but, you know, really can't take that much. Had a couple missile whiffs. Oh, nice morph on morph.
Yeah, that was nice. And of course, yeah, now in the catch-up phase, things slow down a little bit, so...
Yeah, it's always the transition to the catch-up phase is the thing you gotta worry about, because that catch-up can sometimes come out of nowhere. Depending on where Mother Brain is in her cycle, sometimes it just, like, gets thrown out real quick. And there we go. Nick does have it, just needs one little boop to get down into that 3 E-tank range.
So yeah, it's looking good. So I mean, it's you know, looking pretty good that we'll probably be having a third race between these two.
We either need the ultra rare Mother Brain 3 death or the Leodoctorum from Hell.
That's right.
Now again, this is like the worst possible like setup to go through Leodoc. Like, you know, high jump list and speed. It's just super awkward. We do have that hyper beam though, so, you know. But sometimes you just get knocked down and you get a little nervous. So.
Yep. Now it is worth noting that on Speed Gaming 4 right now, we just had another match start. There'll be, again, best of 3, and that is Zeb316 versus Nitro. We got Bressingham and D-Web over there taking care of that one. So we'll be back for our third one as well, but you can hop back and forth whenever we do take a break, and yeah, just be having Super Metroid all day.
Yeah, we got a lot of matches. We got even another set of 3 after that. Yeah, and then Farflu at Derp versus Derp. Yeah, Farflu's gonna come over to Derp's house, have that Celtics game going on in the background. No, but that match is starting at, looks like the first match of that is at 8:40 Eastern. So that's just gonna be starting in a little over an hour. So yeah, we're probably gonna have three SM dashes running at the same time at various points in the race. So
pretty fun. All right, Nick through Mother Brain 3. Heck of a race.
Kipp knows this mother brain cutscene timing very well. He's able to deal with whatever business he had to take care of during. You know, did part of his taxes and everything. I mean, this has got to be like, he's got to be in like the 4,000 or 5,000, mark for how many times he's seen that cutscene. Yeah, this is what I said about this lead auction room. It's this late loadout. Doesn't fall down though, just a little bit of a hitch there. Should be no other problems. Does get this moonfall. I think we cleared everything out. So all we got left is a climb of shame. Potentially stopping us. Oh, and we get the full behemoth spark too. Very nice.
At this point, yeah, we'll see if how quickly Kipp notices the dot done.
Yeah. A lot of times you'll check in, like, these door transitions.
We have Nikplayer coming in with the win with a final time of 103.21. Get your GGs out there, gang.
Yeah, very nicely done.
And Kipp finishing with an official time of 103.59. Just right in there, so. All right, well, like we said, we're going to have a race number 3 for these two. So we'll take a break for a few minutes, and then I'd say about 10 minutes from now or so, we should be back and have these players going again for the next one. So everybody stay tuned, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, hello everyone. We are back for Game 3. Very exciting so far. If you want the quick recap. Game 1 was everything went right for Kipp, nothing went right for Nick. Game 2 was very close, very linear seed. Basically came down to one decision point, whether or not you go to Lower Norfair or Wreck Ship first. Wreck Ship was the correct answer, had the gravity suit. That's where Nick went, and he ended up coming away with the 30-second win. So we've got Game 3 starting now. So again, I am Aptijuk, and I am joined by Mass Hysteria. How are you doing?
Hey man, doing good. Just enough time to run downstairs, grab a quick bite of something, and get ready for this match. Yeah, it looks like Nick has gotten a solid 9-second head start. He started too soon, so I don't know. I guess he's disqualified.
That's absolutely not what happened.
Now it looks like we got the sync all in place.
Time to bring out the commentating rules about. But no, we're just sync kind of gets randomized between each match from the back end, so but yeah, getting that more fall.
Yep, and so then we'll be checking these items over here. Nick's gonna go straight to the Chozo item, which we are using Chozo logic for this, which means that all of the items necessary to progress to beat the game will be at the Chozo statues, as well as the quote-unquote boss items. So all three of the bosses have items behind the doors in their rooms, and then Fantoon has the little one right supers. So.
Yep. Nick, I don't think I've ever seen anyone deboost to the right there before picking up this item, which is obviously the smarter thing to do. Also, I guess Kipp gets this second. I don't necessarily think one's faster than the other. It seems like it should be pretty much equivalent.
Yeah.
I see most people do it the normal 80% way. I think mostly just, again, I want to say it's pretty much equivalent. And it's just, you know, what you're kind of used to, so.
So some early diversions here. Nick going for the meme route portal. Green Brinstar. I think you gotta go.
Yeah, this is what Nick did in the first round, and oh my god, is it the same place?
No, it was red elevator last time.
Oh right, this is I always forget green elevator. You're right on the elevator. Right, yeah. This is a little better, right? Because yeah, this is even better for Nick.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many opportunities within Green Brinstar for him to find a super pack, even if it's not the Chozo logical one.
Oh, when he gets grabbed right off of it. Yeah, there's more opportunities to get it, and you also don't need them. Like you can just come here with regular missiles and everything.
Yep. Yeah, I think the only thing would be if for some reason you couldn't get through the green door at the bottom. But again, we've got 9 plus checks.
Yeah, if you weren't here for match 1, this is basically the same divergence that happened in round 1, except the first time when Nick did meme, it ended up at Red Brinstar, and then ended up just coming back. No, Nick, again, and Kipp, they did this exact same thing.
Yeah.
Nick went, and Kipp did not. The problem with Red Brinstar, we didn't have the super, and Nick sort of ended up kind of coming back through. Put him in an early hole, but once we saw the seed, there was like a lot of good stuff in Red Tower, and it wouldn't have worked out anyways. But was that Vanilla Bomb? Yes, it was. So now we get the fight. Yeah, as long as Nick doesn't get, as long as there's a super somewhere around here, and we don't orphan spore spawn. There we go. Okay. Yeah, this is gonna work out great for Nick.
Yeah, I mean it's super early, but like in theory, Nick. I mean, there could be a situation where Nick never goes back and checks either of those items that Kipp just checked. Which of course, screw attack's great, but it's not going to be a deal breaker if he doesn't get it. So
sure, there's another world where Nick comes back, and this is why I like this meme route. Where Nick comes back and he does Gauntlet, and Gauntlet's like speed booster or something, and that's through Raygon. That's why I like doing it, because there's the 4 doors up top. It's also going to make it, you know, you can check the 2, you come straight across, check the other 2, right? You know, Kipp might be in a situation here where he checks these left and right doors. You know, maybe it's a good place, but he goes, I want to see the other side. Goes back to the other side. They're bad. Now he's got to come back over here. It's just a lot of wasted time, right? Like, so we do have a red tower here, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see what Kipp ends up doing. So we've got, yeah, 1 door we can go through. That was upper Norfair, so if you had another E-tank, you could get through there. Ooh, space jump. Both players finding some really good stuff on their way. I would say Kipp is more likely to get these items than Nick is to get that screw attack. That screw attack may end up being orphaned, and the bombs may end up being orphaned. Yeah, that green Brinstar to the meme route line is almost straight, but it's not quite, and now it's going to bother me. It's like 1 pixel down. I think this is for this. The first 2 seeds were basically very linear, and now we've had this ton of divergence. I think this is what we all wanted to see for a game 3. So. Like both of those. Well, the second, I would say the first one, Kipp basically won in the first 15 seconds, and everything just fell out from there. The second one, we had a lot of back and forth. That decision point wasn't until very, very late. Kipp actually had a couple execution errors, which is rare. That kept the seed interesting, but it pretty much came down to the one choice. It's a grapple. I believe that's in Spazer, so it does make X-ray free to get.
And so, yeah, basically they both got ways to get X-ray now. I mean, Nick's probably going to go straight to it with space jump. So,
well, as we saw in the first match, Nick had a way to get X-ray basically when he found that second E-tank.
Touche.
Because he did a very nice job. Kipp does too, obviously, but Kipp's main issue would be like doing on one E-tank is a bit much. I think it's possible, but. Yeah, the main thing is just, you know, even though Kipp has that screw attack, Nick actually had the faster route through here. Not getting the bombs with that space jump is also good for Nick because we know we don't need the bombs for Ken Fly. The main thing, we also already have 20 power bombs, so we really don't even need the bombs just to like get through like bomb blocks and having to work. Because if you're just on 5 and you don't have bombs, it can be pretty annoying.
Yeah.
And lower Norfair is impossible actually on that loadout without some being careful. But what was I saying? Yeah, we don't need it for Kenfly. Again, the only real use those bombs have left is no, that's right. Is with the gravity suit making the crystal flash to get to Dragon way easier. You like having bombs for that. It's a much easier trick. So now Kipp is going to be going back through. Oh no, just peaks. I guess this makes sense with it being in the middle like that. You really want to check out the top here.
Yeah. Well, and you know this Chozo station up here is, I mean, Kipp's known for loving this one so much. So I don't, you know, it's probably part of his the mythos of Kipp that he has to go check it.
Did you call it a Chozo station?
Did I?
Yeah. I mean, it's a station. It's fine. It's just, it's fine. It's a chorizo station, where the gas station that has, you know, delicious chorizo. But yeah, this is basically what I was saying. Why I like this meme wrap is because again, Nick is getting very naturally dumped up here, right? And is going to be able to check both sides. Is going to be able to clean everything out. I wouldn't be at this point. You're especially if you get that screw attack, right? You're going to be able to rip through Gauntlet. If that Gauntlet is something big, like Speed Booster, it can't be. I assume you guys have the same rules where it can't be Varia, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Speed Booster is probably the biggest thing, or Ice. You know, the thing that will let us get to. What's his face? Dragon. Because that's, you know, I mean, honestly, with like these Chozos, like basically you're looking for is the 2 suits and Speed or Ice, and that's kind of it, right? Everything else is just kind of gravy. You know, it's been said before that the only thing required in Super Metroid is miners and Morph Ball, and everything else is negotiable. But just with Chozo, you're generally not going to be finding a ton of like the miners and stuff, and there's only so many locations, so it's generally those 3 things in these that it's the things you're really looking for.
So yeah, a little more divergence. I'm guessing.
Oh, I'm surprised Nick.
Yeah.
Didn't. I've been saying this. The reason I like the meme route is because you get this nice clear of criteria in one shot, right? Nick didn't do that. So like to me, that's the main upside to that play. So it's interesting to come back to Red Brinstar like this. I know you have these kind of like hanging entrances, but again, like I said in the first, I mean, ended up being a closed loop with East Meridia. That same logic, you can kind of just dumped back out into these later, right, and pick up that last check very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't like this coming through for. Again, at least in my mind, that meme play is, you know, I mean, unless you're just doing it because I know Kipp doesn't, and I want divergence because otherwise I think he's likely to win. Again, I think the cleanup of criteria is the main actual benefit from it. If you get a seed like this, which gives it to you very nicely.
Well, I mean, I guess the only argument you could make is that there's the 2 Chozos in criteria that they'd be checking, and one of them has got to be like a super pack.
One of them has to be a super. Oh yeah, I guess. So that has to be
pretty much.
Right?
I mean, yeah, it would almost certainly be a super pack, and so then the other one might be the thing that you want, like a speed booster or something. But if you just skip all of that. Well, I guess there's 3 that you're skipping actually. So
you're skipping 3. Now we know it's. I mean, you get. We know you would get 2 very nice items, right? You'd get screw attack and bombs.
Yeah.
Again, in Nick's mind, right? I was saying like ice or speed would be great, but like, again, like with that crystal flash clip, that bomb is basically almost as good as ice or speed because we already got 20 power bombs, right? Now, granted, Kipp already has it too, so it's not like something you get over him. That's really only going to be that gauntlet location, which I guess has to be. You said it has to be. I always get confused about that. I'll take your word for it. That has to be a super.
Well, I mean, I guess it technically doesn't have to be. I'd have to look at the map, but the odds of it being a super seem pretty high to me.
Yeah, I think it doesn't because the screw attacking a bomb gets us through that wall, right?
Yeah.
So, did we see? We had a super not on a Chozo in Green Brinstar. I don't know if there was a. I want to say like charge or something because we don't have a lot of extra. Oh no, that was gravity and space jump. I think that super is Spore Spawn in logic because then that super could actually be vanilla. And that would get your logical. So yeah, I think Gauntlet doesn't have to be a super. X-Ray was a super. Oh, there you go. That's logic. So yeah. So X-Ray, yeah, right. X-Ray was a super. We got the space jump from Charge Beam with what we just had. Screw attack and bump. Got that, and then yeah. So yeah, no, the Gauntlet could actually be speed. We could have 3 items up there. So yeah, it's just a very long explanation of why I still don't like Nick skipping top of criteria. There's the East Meridia. That's the first time we've seen that. Nick does have that. Oh, that was the one that Nick also skipped that, which was a. See, that's the other like skipped the checking that Green Brimstone location, which that has personally burnt me. Leaving if that's like crate or something, that could just be devastating. But then goes and does the safer thing and checks Red Brinstar, but that has 2 doors, so you can come back to it. And it turns out both of them are just Upper Norfair, so. Oh, Nick did check green. Okay, we just. See, this is how much I respect our trackers, even when it seems like they're probably wrong. I just take their word for it because I know how good they are.
Yeah, so Nick does have a big advantage going to this Upper Norfair checks because when Kipp was doing this, he only had maybe 2 or 3 tanks, and he was kind of low, so he didn't get to go up through Cathedral to go this way. So we're going to get these 2 Chozo checks here.
Yeah, I think I was saying I was complaining about this criteria play. I think Nick is still in a better position overall. I think that early the meme route portal just kind of worked out. Green Brinstar is one of the best places it can go, if not the best place it can go. The other dense locations like Red Brinstar and Upper Norfair have their own issues. Upper Norfair with there being hell runs, and Red Brinstar, we saw in the first match, just requires supers. So sometimes you don't have that super.
Yeah.
And to be able to have the power bombs and the supers basically requires literally the only 2 places you can check down there having the right things. So it's rare. So yeah, green. As obviously if you're coming meme route, you obviously have power bombs because that's the requirement to get through there. So yeah, Green Brinstar is probably the best thing, and especially being at the top there.
Ooh,
Oh,
Nick.
and there's Arvaria. That's huge for Nick. Where Kipp had to get turned away because of that energy. That's, you know, if you had a script a place to put that, if you're a Nick fan, I think that's where you'd put it. This is also the longest hell run too. This is the hardest one to get with the health in Chozo. Otherwise, it's the Cathedral one. But
Yeah, so I mean now we're still pretty early. No bosses down, so
we're pretty early. But Nick is basically only looking. Now, again, technically he can. This is a very technical go mode again, right? Because he can do the Crystal Flash clip. He's got 25 power bombs, which is pretty good. He's skipping those. That's, if he's thinking about that at all, I'd be picking those up, right? Oh, and he gets ice. That's, yeah, this is go mode. I mean, our beam is the worst thing I've ever seen. We have literally none of them except for ice. Oh, sorry, it's 30 now.
yeah, that's a long fight.
Yeah, so, but you know, like I said, like kind of in shows, you're sort of in this like half go, right, where you check everything that's convenient. You know, Nick does know where that East Meridia is. I think I would be heading there. Dragon, you know, we have kind of enough ammo for Dragon. It's going to be a little bit of a rough fight. Maybe you can get a little bit more on the way in, but like that's the one boss you know you don't want to do Lower North area. You want to stay away from that.
I think the only nice thing for Kipp at this point is he's found a couple more super packs.
The main thing is Kipp's got to decide to make this trek back into Upper Norfair. You know, may end up doing... What's the show? Is there just the one Chozo in East Meridia? Oh, no, there's the two. The forbidden one that we don't speak about.
Yeah, and I mean, I could see him being tempted to go check West Meridia through the tube.
Right. Although
So,
that likely comes into either Kraid or it might be this other half of Rex ship. But Nick did finding a wreck ship for Nick is actually also huge because, like I said, the East Meridia wasn't great. I think the only problem here, you're probably definitely gonna orphan, unless the other side of wreck ship is either Croc or Turian, where you have to come back out. You're probably gonna orphan wreck ship E-Tank, right? Because you're not gonna come back for it and then come back to the front. And you're certainly not going to do top. Because again, you're playing Kipp here. You know he's a great runner. So like, when you're in this like effective go mode, but I guess you can call this like long mode or something. Let's just come up with new things to call go mode.
Yeah.
You're in go mode. It's just going to take a while, right? You just want more stuff just to make it faster. But you know, you definitely. I mean, even logically, you can finish the game right now. You just kind of have to hope that like you're gonna get some things to fall in your lap pretty nicely, because if you just spend too much time trying to hedge your bets against a guy like Kipp, like that's just not gonna be a winning strategy usually. And if
yeah, but this is interesting. Like if you know, with Kipp finding Kraid, this isn't hurting him because I mean he has to do this eventually. So
right. Yeah, as I said with the second, it's just like Kipp's like the shark, right? He's just making up ground, right? So like, if you have a lead or perceived lead, like you don't want to let off that gas pedal at all. I actually think the best thing for Nick here is Turian, because he'll get that information, and it'll force him to, you know, get that at least, you know, be able to do the wreck ship E-Tank fairly easily. But there's zero chance he's doing bowling. Like, that's just not a thing right now. Like, I don't even think there's an item you could tell him that was there that he'd do it. Like, I don't think, like, speed or high jump are your two big movement items right now. And, you know, especially with, you know, the way the dash works with the beams. It's not like charge itself is way less valuable versus when if you don't have the starter charge. So like you wouldn't even go out of your way for charge, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, charge would be tempting because I mean you'd be doubling your damage right now. So
yeah, would plasma actually add more damage than charge right now? Actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I guess maybe plasma's the best thing then. So I feel like we should, with that, checking this right side, this definitely makes sense. Yeah, plasma's king. Yeah, that makes sense. Plus just the utility. I get you need everything. I mean, I would check left side supers here too. It's such a quick peek. I know it's 2 doors before anyone in chat yells at me, but I think here is definitely worth that peek.
Yeah, and Audra's right. When we did the Dash Recall version, we actually had nerfed Plasma more just because, as we'd objectively looked at it, it's just, I mean, it can be so overpowered. But I think the feedback we got from the community was that people kind of want Plasma to be overpowered. Like, if you happen to find it, like, that should be a really big deal. So
yeah,
that's why it's, as it's stated in chat, it's back in business. So
yeah, I think, I mean, Plasma adds the utility with the hitboxing and the there's the Tourney that I said would have been good for Nick.
Yeah.
That's in that place I said he should have checked. That might be some dangerous knowledge. I assume Kipp also checked the crab part of the T there too. I didn't see what that was though.
Yeah, that's a really good point. That was sort of our compromise for trying to make Plasma, not nerfed quite as much. But
I can almost see like you can almost like take all of Plasma's damage away and like give it to Spazer, because Spazer is kind of like whatever a lot of times, and just have Plasma have the utility like the hitboxing and the microwave stuff that it can do. Like it has so much utility by itself. It's almost worth it because like I say, Plasma and Screw Attack are the 2 things I consider as like my enablers for LN Hell runs. The LN part is not because it does damage, it's just because it lets me run through those guys.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with its damage.
It's funny that you say that, because I think Kipp actually pitched, he was like, well, maybe we just need to take all the damage away from Plasma.
Yeah.
And we were all like, I don't know, man, that seems like maybe too far.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Maybe I don't know, like maybe if you gave it some other partial utility as well. Because Spazer's the only one that doesn't really have utility. Like the other 3 beams give you some sort of utility. Spazer's the one that's just straight damage, right?
Yeah.
And the problem is its damage is like, maybe just switch them. Maybe give Plasma Spazer's damage and Spazer Plasma's damage. Maybe that would be the correct balance. Because they're supposed to be progressive, right? But in a randomizer, sometimes you just find the better beam first, and then, it's just pointless to find the other one, right? Spazer becomes kind of a meme. But if you reverse the damage, right, then Spazer does still have some value. And Plasma would still have some value in the other place because it has utility, so. Anyways, welcome to our pedantry stream. We just talk about numbers and values the entire time while people race, somewhat unrelated to what we're talking about. Kipp's finally gonna get this Varia. Always feels bad to do a little bit too much farming here and you find that Varia, but... No, there's no I guess Dash has changed a little bit in the last year. So there's none of the actual Dash logic changes in this. I think the only like dashy thing we have in this mode right now is the charge beams being split. The rest of it is effectively just Varia logic, right? For Chozo.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, we tried to follow this standard Chozo logic that people are used to, trying not to make people have to learn a whole new thing again. So
yeah, which again, that's why I had originally stayed away from Dash, because it was just the new logic and stuff was just one more thing I didn't need in my brain. Yeah, so yeah, Kraid. I kind of missed that. Kraid was off of West Meridia, so it's the one problem with the. I mean, we're not going to ask our trackers to track two different people's independent knowledge of the map, but knowledge is is hugely important in these. I'm not exactly sure. Nick doesn't know where Kraid is, but I think he knows most of this other stuff. Doesn't know where Kraid is. Doesn't know where that Tourney is. Oh, that. So yeah, because I was saying that I didn't like the not punching through criteria. It looks like it's actually going to work out good for Nick, because Crab went to West Meridia, which is also. So then that can get you back to the Torian knowledge, and then West Meridia is also where Kraid is.
yeah. Yeah, with them being so far apart, it's kind of hard to know. I mean, I think Nick probably is in the lead, but I think it seems.
Yeah, Nick feels fairly comfortable. I think, pretty straightforward for. Oh yeah, Nick's already even in East Meridia. Like, just killed that Dragon. Did it so quickly I didn't even notice. Yeah, it just has Kraid and Ridley. So we don't know where the other end of that lower Norfair is, but I think we know everything. That's got to be Croc. So, right, that's Nick's big risk, is he goes to lower Norfair first. Right, thinking maybe, because he doesn't know where Kraid is. Kraid very much could be back there. So
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, yeah, if he commits to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I think the smart. So Nick really hasn't done any of this West Meridia stuff. Still has like. So Nick doesn't know what any of this West Meridia stuff goes, except for like the one or two he's seen. And he also doesn't know where those criteria ones go. So I think the safe thing to do is actually to do the West Meridia. But again, Kipp might get a little bit of a reputation bonus here, and Nick might go like, well, I should just play for lower Norfair into Kraid, and hope it's that. But he might stay away from that because he's got two whammies over there, right? He's got both Croc and Torian. For him would be very bad. Torian would be the worst. So not knowing Torian may save Nick from doing that. And it looks like we are. I'm trying to. This map is just tiny enough that when it gets full, it can be a little hard to parse. I think Nick is also trying to parse it. Right? That's a where am I going? Pause. He's going this way, so I think he's going back up to those last two criterias. So I think this is going to be good for. This is a little bit of a long way to get there. What's the other way to get to West Meridia? Upper Norfair, which wasn't really. Oh, maybe he's going to Upper Norfair to. No, that's a really long trek. I can't do that. Or maybe because otherwise he's going.
Oh, so wait. So he's going this way to get to criteria to the retro.
Right,
PVs?
But he could have just gone to the bottom of Red Tower to get the criteria.
Yeah, maybe he knows that, right?
Yeah, he should know that. I mean, it could just be, again, you can see. I don't know how Nick tracks, or in some people don't track. They just keep all this in their head, which is crazy to me. But especially when this is a fairly convoluted map. Sometimes you just find a route and you just go for it, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard to like find the optimal thing.
Yeah, I
mean,
think
we're just sitting here staring at the map and we're still going, I think this is the best, but plus we don't quite know what Nick knows. Like, again, this is the combined knowledge map, which is why it's filled in. We know everything, but each runner does not. They both have holes. I think Kipp is pretty close to at least being able to infer full knowledge. Yeah, Kipp might have full knowledge, actually.
So yeah, I think the big question will be: is Nick gonna make all these checks here too?
Ooh,
With only 60 damage, is there a temptation to look for beams or? Not 230.
The other thing is, yeah, not 230.
Not BT.
I think you can make the argument the one thing you can check is Gauntlet, because that's the thing that Kipp most likely didn't do, right? So that's like a pressure point you can lean on.
Yeah, it's just hard to imagine now that they have ice. Like, what's the thing that makes it worth it? Speed, I guess. Plasma.
Any beam, just like
yeah.
I think beams are the thing that are going to be. Nick does turn right around here just to get the other knowledge. I think if you're going to scout both of these, going, especially with the space jump and gravity, I think just going straight across probably a little faster. I mean, I guess it depends on. Like always, it depends on which is the one you want to end up going into, and you should go to that one second, right? But I guess it doesn't matter if you're going to go to the other one. You have to do everything twice anyways, so. This is gonna be so close at the end here. I mean, they both still have... God, you know what? Might be the deciding factor is that screw attack, honestly. Because Kipp is just gonna be able to rip right through Lower Norfair, where Nick is gonna have a little more issue.
That's true. With no beams, Lower Norfair is just, yeah. I mean, Plasma would do it too, right? Like because then you could clip through everything and just.
Yeah, it also seems like so Kipp's already done Kraid, right? So after this, is just gonna need to do Ridley. I think, yeah, Kipp is going to be just closer to Ridley at this point, so I think Kipp's now in the lead.
I think that backtrack through Criteria the long way really hurt.
Yeah, because Nick really felt like in the driver's seat the entire time, but I think Kipp is going to pick up a significant amount of routing efficiency here from, I mean, just the backtrack, and like, I was kind of saying, like, Kipp was a little bit more methodical in filling out the information, right? And like in area random, like information is like just getting information is almost as good as getting items. Like it can just be so powerful knowing that info. And like I said, Kipp basically had full knowledge like 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, where you know, Nick was sort of in the driver's seat here because of, you know, had skipped some of those checks, which means he just took some time. No, Kipp has Varia. So, and that's the like if you know, Nick sort of like beeline, which like the beelining was reasonable, but you know, in his situation he didn't really know exactly what to do. Another super for Nick. Yeah, I think Nick is, or Kipp is just ahead of the route slightly, and I think the screw attack is really going to be the real difference maker on top of that.
Yeah, for sure.
So we do have to get back to Red Tower. Yeah, this is the problem. This West Meridia and Red Tower was separated by a bunch. So it was the backtracking to Criteria. Really, if Nick had gone... Yeah, if Nick had gone to West Meridia directly from Red Tower, that was the thing that needed to happen. Instead of going up top to Criteria, and again, it was because of not doing those checks early. Look, I'm just slapping a Duck Was Right sticker over this one, because I so rarely get to do that. Oh, Nick's already in Lower Norfair. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Okay, I thought there was more. I thought there was more. There was a quicker way of. Okay. Oh, that Duck Was Right sticker got taken off real quick. Never mind. Duck was not paying. Yeah, again, just following the track. I thought there was a lot more tracking or backtracking that needed to do. Man, I am. Thanks, chat. You guys are great. What would I do without you? Yeah, I will. I still think Kipp is still in a really good spot. Kipp's got slightly more ammo. May just be not really worried about it as much. And you know, again, this is kind of the situation we were in the first one, right? We were saying that like at this point it's basically just a straight up speed run, and you know, Nick is leading by a handful, which is in rando. You know, a handful of screams sometimes it matters because you have to go somewhere else, right? But when we're doing so straightforward, and Kipp is picking up these minors, that's really good if you're a Nick fan. Well, I honestly, maybe it is purely faster to pick these up. It might actually just be purely faster to pick them up anyways, just because of...
Yeah, I mean, with 60 damage.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're, you know, I keep saying if you're a Nick fan. If you're a Kipp fan, I think more what you're rooting for is, like, Charge or Plasma to be behind Ridley, and you skip these items, right? That'd be the best, but yeah, I think all ammo ends up being worth. I mean, even those missile packs are almost 2 charge shots, which is 2 seconds each. So 5 missiles, this 10 seconds. Yeah, I think you save just on the fanfare 3 seconds. Lose time? How do you lose? How are you getting that if you lose time? Yeah, 7 seconds, and you save 2 seconds per shot. Okay, it's 60, so it's fine. Like, if we're just considering the fanfare, not the time to run over and pick it up. I think they're still barely saving. Yeah, I mean, super pickups are definitely... I mean, even before... I mean, you know, these guys were checking on the way to Ridley. That's double. High jump boost. Yeah, I know the math is close, but like most of the time in checking is already spent by running over there, and since you're also considering the probability of it being a super, it's worth to at least see it, and by the time you've seen it, it's probably worth it to pick up. Just because it is so close.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be... I think it's... If it was a super pack, to your point, like if you get there and it's a super pack, it's an automatic pickup. So
yeah, so that's why I'm splitting my mind. Like, there's the decision to like, do I even check anything, right? And then once you've peaked it, it's a completely separate decision at that point. Otherwise, it's sunk cost fallacy, right? You've already spent the time running over. Wow, Kipp not picking up the high jump boost.
I think this is his low ice training coming in. He's just like, if I'm not going to have speed, I don't even care about high jump boots. I just want to go.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty close to the end. Like, he's got space and screw attack. Space and screw attack. Yeah, it doesn't... I mean, people always tell me how, much more high jump saves than you think it does, even like this late. So I'm surprised. I will trust Kipp's. Yeah, he does have to go through climb and escape. I mean, baby skip without speed is kind of rough. Oh, I'll just point out that Kipp likes, with a bad beam, I guess, again, because of Kipton's low ice so much, actually likes turning off high jump in the fight. So if you have to add another, like, 2 seconds, or 4 seconds, really, because he probably turns it back on after that, right? And then maybe...
I think that's a good call, D-Web. I think, yeah, tell Zeb and Nitro to wait for this one to finish so you can watch it.
Yeah. Maybe I gotta get this, like, multi-stream tech up on speed gaming. Maybe we can,
Is it like that NFL channel where you can show four games at once?
Oh, the red zone or whatever?
Yeah. Super Metroid Red Zone.
We do replays right before someone picks up a charge beam or something. People like popping off in chat. Oh my god, these guys are so close. Again, it's just a couple screens, right? But like, it's so straightforward. I mean, look, the 5 supers Kipp has in pocket is a non-significant factor at this point.
True.
That is actually, that's, how many charge shots is that?
Oh gosh.
Each one is 300, right? So that's 5 shots apiece. That's 25 seconds. Oh my god, is that super pack gonna change? They're about that close to each other. Now, granted, Nick does have 10 missiles, right? So that cuts a little bit off of that. Yeah, that's literally 25 seconds. That one super pack. Oh my god. If a super pack decides this game, I'm gonna scream.
So no,
Oh, especially bad drops.
Yeah, it was about 33-second difference between hitting the elevator.
Oh no!
Oh, and no bombs.
Oh no! Yeah, I mean, Kipp is handling these Metroid rooms definitely a lot cleaner than Nick did. Nick had a little issue with them. This is low ice coming in. Oh no, that super. We should be okay here, but that's not. Yeah, Kipp tearing through these. We're gonna have to look at the baby detach timing.
I had 45-55 when baby let go, so we'll see what Kipp has.
Oh yeah, 40 more frames off the table. is filling up the... refilling the missiles. I assume Nick did the... Yeah, pre-opening the door. Very smart. 26 seconds. So yeah, Kipp saved 7 seconds to those Metroids. That's massive. And we were saying 25 seconds is going to be this super difference. Oh my god, is it...
I mean, it's right down to it for sure.
I mean, again, as pointed out that oh, and they're not synced. We didn't... Oh man. Oh, this is on me. Oh no, Nick is ahead on the timers. Hold on, we gotta sync this so we get the actual...
In fairness, I've been looking at the timer the whole time, so. I think that 26 seconds was correct, so.
Alright, there we... Oh my god. What's the margin? You guys frame count, don't you?
I mean, we would if it came down to it, yeah.
Yeah, all the speedrunners in chat just started grinding their teeth together on that question. I kept saying it's about the 25-second difference, and it was also pointed out, hey, doesn't high jump save a lot of time in the climb too? Which
True.
Oh my god. Reasonable. We've given up making up times. Like, we're just down to reasonable. I don't even know. All right. Who's gonna get the first red beam? That's gonna be huge to see. Red beam's out on Nick. That looks like Nick is...
Oof.
Kipp is so close, but... I mean, look, you can't... Nick has it, has the high jump that's also gonna save a bunch. But, again, like, Leodoxium or something, like, we saw in the first match, just... the fact that, Kipp is a low ice player, right? Like, he's got a route through Leodox that's just gonna work, right? He's actually more geared than he would normally. He's got like space jump and screw attack, so he's gonna be very smooth through Leodox. Is it gonna be 4 seconds plus whatever the difference in this high jump is? Probably not. Yeah, if anyone doesn't know, it's not called Leodox as a... Pretty much everything in this game was named for shaming reasons. We're not a very... We're a supportive community, unless you do something so dumb that it has to be memorialized forever. In, let's just say Sloter's refill is not named because it was a good time to take that refill. Okay, we're not pointing out my spelling mistakes in chat.
I mean, there's just so many shots. Ooh, but Nick's through.
Alright, the beam is hitting at 24. I think Nick has this. This looks like too big of a gap. Especially with maybe if they both had high jump, or they both... honestly, if they both didn't have high jump. I would give Kipp a puncher's chance just because, again, that, unless you've practiced the high jumpless strats for that escape. Mother Brain 3 is still a thing, but again, Nick has having high jump, Nick's execution is very good. I feel like having high jump, you'll get a pretty clean Mother Brain 3. But yeah, again, if this was, both of them didn't have high jump, I would say Kipp had a really strong chance, but I think at this point, unless we have a disaster, I have full confidence in Nick to finish this off. Screw attack does help, but not a ton. Those without high jump, getting through Leodox, you know, you'd have to shoot them with the hyper beam. I guess for Kipp it doesn't, because Kipp knows how to get through. But if you just didn't have it, it would help a little bit. Yeah, I was sort of answering the wrong question. Yeah, Nevy, I think you're right. I think that high jump boots is the difference. Yeah, sure. I mean, you can always, you know, any of these races you go back and you have a bunch of, but that's certainly the glaring one. Once everything's sort of like coalesced for us. But yeah, we're about a difference of an entire Mother Brain 3 fight. Nick with the perfect 3.0.
Well, this was a great series.
Yeah, either way, it's a great series.
Yeah.
This is, you know, we're either going to be congratulating Nick for, you know, playing a really excellent series, especially after that first match was such a disaster, or we're renaming this room. Yeah. Those are the two options we have at this point. Okay, that's pretty much the really hard part. Looks like he cleaned up all the pirates too. There's gonna be one here at the bottom, but usually just kind of shoot him here. Yeah, I got him dead. Oh, and Kipp misses the moonfall. Nick up top the climb. Yeah, that's gonna do it. Nick is gonna take this game and this match. What a... I mean, a comeback only because that first match was just... That was the sum of all fears for Nick on that side. So, just outstanding. Keeping the composure, especially against a player like Kipp. You know, having a comeback win against Kipp is... that's gotta be pretty rare. You see Kipp... I mean, Kipp's really great sportsman. I think Kipp's the only person who likes losing. So, like, he just likes everyone, and when someone wins, he's really proud of them, so...
Yeah, GG to both players. Congrats to Nick on, on taking the match.
Yeah, what a great run from Nick.
It looks like we have Kipp with us. Kipp, how you doing, man?
Hey guys, doing good. How are y'all? Looks like we had a really good series here.
Yeah, Kipp, I have a really important question to you about audio cues that came up in the second match.
Okay, what's up?
I was just joking. I will actually ask you, but I mean, this was such a hype thing. Skipping the high jump boots is the first thing we got to ask you about, because I think that was the difference, and I'm not even joking.
Are you talking about in this third race at the end?
In the third race, yeah.
I don't really think it made much of a difference. In fact, I'm actually probably more comfortable without it than with it without speed in a lot of those rooms. So I don't really feel like it affected me very much. I think probably the biggest difference in the third race from if it went the way that I think it went, which obviously I have no idea at this point, I'd have to go back and watch it. If Nick did the retro portal at the beginning and kept going in Green Brinstar, once I finally found that portal and realized that I would have to do a backtrack through Green Brinstar that he wouldn't, and then the rest of the seed was fairly straightforward, I figured that would be the difference, and it turns out that I was correct. But the funny thing is when I was doing all my practice and like putting all together my plans, I kind of went through a bunch of permutations of like what would happen if I skipped the beginning, and like, you know, how many of them are favorable, how many are neutral, how many are bad. There's really only a few that are bad, one of which would be like if Kraid was there and you could do it immediately and I just missed it. But other than that, the other bad ones were like immediate green Brinstar on the left side, and then like carry over into something good. So I kind of got punished in one of the worst ways possible. But I still think if I played it again, I'd do the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't so much you skipping that. I think we came up in chat that I think the fact that high jump boots was there and that Nick picked, because we were saying like because of your low ice, we know that you can handle all of that pretty cleanly.
I mean, maybe. I mean, I think Nick's a really good player. I'd have to watch the VOD to see.
Yeah, it was just really close, and you also saved a ton of time. You had really clean Metroids. I think you saved like 6 or 7 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to watch the VOD to know for sure. But all things considered, I mean, like, I feel pretty good about how I played in all 3 games. The only bad thing that I feel like I really messed up on was I got really confused in the middle of the second race and like didn't see how the puzzle pieces fit for like a couple minutes there. And so like I was trying to high jump bootless lava dive, which is a really like a rare thing to happen in an area seed, particularly a Chozo one. And then honestly, I'm a little disappointed in that because I actually practiced that a little bit before this tournament, and then I failed pretty bad. So even if I'd have gotten that one, I still don't think I would have won though. If you look at the layout of the map,
no, you wouldn't have.
And I would have, yeah, and if I would have probably checked screw attack because we didn't have gravity at the time. But otherwise, pretty happy with how I played. I was really excited for this one. I think Nick played really well, and I'm excited. Even though I'm bummed to be out of the tournament, I'm excited that we have some really hype semis coming up, and then I'll get to do some more commentary.
Yeah, that second one, like you had the 2 execution things with the CWJ and the lava dive, but the lava dive didn't matter because it was, if you got through, you would have gone to lower Norfair. Nick was going to wreck ship, and the gravity was at wreck ship, so it was really just that decision that.
Dude, I forgot about that CWJ. I wish you hadn't brought it up. Now I got to think about it.
Well, we are joined by Nick. That was Nick had an early lead in that because Nick nailed it on not the first try, but the first retry. And that was the early lead there. That again, it just kind of came down to that decision at the end. But yeah, Nick, great job in this match.
Well, thank you very much. I'm shaking. I'm very shaking.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and you can talk.
No, I was gonna say we were feeling really bad after that first seed because it was. I was joking. I called it the perfect duck route, where all your decisions were logical and perfectly fine, but just in retrospect, they were exactly wrong. Like everything went wrong for you in that first seed, and everything went right for Kipp. It was almost a comedy of errors, and to come back and play 2 really solid matches after that, was really. I mean, 2 really close matches. The second one just again came down to 1 decision point. This one. Again, a lot of it came down to the early meme route that you went and getting the green Brinstar, and then you just sort of held on towards the end. It got really close, but yeah, great job.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that first seat I was so shaking because everything was wrong what I did with this road and something like that, and what kind of item I had. Lord Norfair was on my position soft locked because I was soft locked on the West Meridia, and to escape this I need spring ball or gravity suit, and I must do Crocomire. Then in Crocomire I got this spring ball, and yeah, and Kipp finishes this seat. And I was running to X-Ray because I knew that X-Ray was here on gravity, and at this point I was very disappointed in myself to do these checks in the first seat, and I know I have very respect for Kipp. You are very good Super Metroid player. And I must be strong today, and I to do all the best I can do to beat the seat. And in the second seat was very okay. Kinda bad decision in the beginning, but the end was very fine. There was yeah, the seed was also bad in the second seed, and the third seed I rushed this seed in third seed. I found very early gravity and varia, and everything was fine. The routing was fine, and yeah.
Yeah, Nick, GG. I think you played really well today. Also, I was really impressed with your first round match. So I was like going back and studying the restreams to kind of get a feel for how I thought you might would play. I hate to say this, but I just got word from the organizers that we've switched to net win as opposed to individual race win. So we have to combine your 2 wins time, which I think is about 40 something seconds. And then my first one was a forfeit by you. So I think, unfortunately, I'm going to have to advance. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, the second and the third seed, we were so close each other. That was so amazing. I can't wait to watch the Swiss streak.
Me too. I got to tell you, it's a little heartbreaking. I was just thinking about it. I think the last 6 randomizer tournament races that I lost, I was in the climb or further when the dot done came in, which is really hard. It's really hard to lose that way. But no, man, I'm really excited for you. When I saw the matchups, I was like, oh man, this is going to be a really tough run to the bracket. I don't know if I think the Zeb Nitro match is probably still going on. I think both of those players are excellent. So whoever you get next will be a tough one. But congratulations. And I also want to thank you and everybody else for being willing to do this. An abbreviated tournament in one weekend is kind of hard to fit into people's schedules, but it's cool that we got this many people out for it. So thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Kipp. It was very fun to race you. Like I said, I had a very respect for you. You're a very good player, and I knew I must play the best today. And yeah, today was my lucky day. And thank you very much for this race. Very thank you very much.
Yeah, man, you deserve it. GG and good luck tomorrow in the semis. And also thank you to I think Duck and Mass. Did you guys do all 3 of these?
Oh yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. That's a lot of time.
And Dang on tracking.
Yeah, Dang Track. Thank you very much, Dang. Appreciate that very much. So it's been a very big team effort here. Duck's been helping us out a ton with the restreams. And yeah, so this thing will keep on riding tomorrow. I think we still have 2 matches, one going right now, and I think Derp and Farfaloo tonight.
By tonight, you mean in about 2 minutes on this channel. So
okay, awesome. Yeah. Well, yeah, thank you again. I've had a great time. I will catch some of y'all probably on some commentary at some point in the next couple of days. But yeah, I'll turn it back over to Duck and Mass to close us out.
Yeah, I think that's it. We're going to close it out quick here just because we do have that Farflu and Derp match starting right here in real soon. So we're going to wrap it up and we're handing it over to the next set of commentators and trackers. So either stick around to watch this match is going to be great, or we do have Zeb versus Nitro on Speed Gaming 4. So we're heading out. Thanks a lot to Mass. Thanks to Dang. I'm just going to close it out because we do need to set up the next one. But great job, everyone.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you.